a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, everybody. We're live over here on my side. Alan has a little bit of a technical difficulties tonight. He's having some issues with Google Hangouts. Keeps telling him that it's crashing. Hopefully he can get switched over here and check us out on mine as well. But we have Donnie Pavellini Outdoors. He's
Hello,
sitting in the
and Bushcrafters. My name is Alan Hobbs.
with a shirt.
And with a shirt. Oh my Lord. Technical difficulties.
It's one of those things you think you got them all worked out and they never work out. You still playing around wondering what's going to go and what's not going to go. I had a few things. I don't know what all Alan had planned for tonight, but this is going to throw me for another loop. But hey, we're the king men of winging it anyway, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Tell them a little bit about yourself there, Donnie. We're going to throw you on the spot.
Sure. I'm Donnie Pavellini from Donnie Pavellini Outdoors on YouTube. I have been camping all of my life. I mean, from a little fella, by myself. I did my first solo camp, I guess, when I was about 7. Santa Claus brought me a tent and a hatchet, and I couldn't wait. That night, right at the edge of the woods, not in the woods, but right at the edge of the woods is when I had my first solo camp, and I've been doing it ever since. I enjoy just about every aspect of the outdoors that I can get into. I'm located down here in South Mississippi, the Biloxi area, and it really is a beautiful place. Lots of things to do out here outdoors, and the good thing about it is, for the most part, it's year-round. But the summertime, like right now, is when I have cabin fever because it's too doggone hot to do anything. Wintertime, I'm in heaven. I couldn't be happier, and I can't wait for wintertime to come on and let's get rolling. But I started my YouTube channel as a way to really motivate myself to getting back into the things that I enjoyed doing when I was a kid, and I've enjoyed it ever since. I started watching that, like everybody else, a lot of the survival shows and things like that. Particularly for me, a lot of people were, really. I love Les Stroud too, but for me, it was Dave Canterbury and Cody Lundeen on Dual Survival. They really got me. I just like those guys. I like the chemistry they had between them, and I enjoyed everything that they presented each week. And I was thinking to myself, God, man, I like doing things that not that extreme, but I love just getting out in the woods, and so it was a chance for me to get out and play. Really, it's just kicking off my second childhood.
I think you and I are about like them. That's about what it was for me. I had lived out and done all these things for years and years, and then I took a brief hiatus to get back to it. And then I started watching. I actually did not start watching Dual Survival until about the 3rd season, maybe, or something. And then I didn't even think nothing about it. And then I got to noticing the name, and I recognized the name, and I thought, well, I know this guy from somewhere. And then I started going through it, and then all of a sudden I seen some of his earlier videos, and I said, man, I missed this. And I started back over.
Man. Mike, I want to ask you something real quick, buddy. Mm-hmm. On your channel, I'm here on YouTube, mm-hmm. and on your website, but I'm not seeing anything about this show.
Go to live events. Just go under my videos.
Okay.
Then you'll see it under there, and you'll have to mute it, because if you don't, you're going to hear me and you and me.
Where in the heck you see live events at?
Under my videos.
Okay, I'm on the videos, but I don't see live events.
That I don't know. That's how I found it.
Really?
Ask one of these guys in here. Somebody tell him how to get to it. Because I had to just throw this thing together. Alan just sent me a text about 5 minutes after and said, hey, Mike, it's started on your show because I can't get mine to work. So I just kind of created one and threw it together real quick.
Okay. Well,
I'm like the rest of y'all too. I'm a winter person. I mean, the summertime I get out and do a few things, but where most people are kind of like stocking up in the winter and getting fat, I lose about 20 pounds. So this year in the summer, I've actually lost 30 pounds. So I'm thinking I'm going to be in good shape come this winter.
Yeah, that's right. I tell you what, it's been so hot, man. I don't see how anybody could gain weight this summer. Good Lord. It has been so unbelievably hot this year.
Do you, they said they're hearing an echo.
Okay. Off of me?
I don't know if it is or not. I don't have any speakers on in mine right now. Do you have any external speakers playing anywhere?
I don't think so, but I tell you what, I'm going to check.
If you got your laptop on,
yeah,
it may be coming through it. Turn your volume down on it.
All right, ask them now if they're getting any kind of
Are we hearing any echo now?
I just muted it. What's the good word?
It takes them about 20 seconds is normally what they're behind us. So
yeah.
If you're picking your nose, they're not going to laugh for 20 seconds. One of the things that I'm going to kind of hit tonight, and I don't know if I should wait till the end and do it or if I should do it now. My gut instinct says just go ahead and get it out of the way. I don't mean that to be in a bad sense, but it's been bothering me all day for about 4 or 5 days. A few of you guys are familiar with Mike Landreth. I don't even know how to approach this. I'm not good at these kind of things, but I spoke to his wife. Brad Allen gave me a call Thursday afternoon, and he kind of told me that that Mike had been in the hospital. So I immediately got off the phone and called Mike, and he didn't answer. His wife answered the phone. The last that I heard was today about 2 to 3 o'clock from her, and she said she would let me know if anything happened, but I don't know any other way of saying it. They're pretty much just waiting on him to pass this afternoon. They don't expect him to make it through tonight. So if any of y'all are familiar with him or anything like that, if you know the family and you haven't been able to get in touch with them, you know, they did ask if we would all say some prayers. And the other thing, and I'm no good at this part of this here, and I talked to Brad about it earlier today, and he mentioned a name or something. He, I guess in a sense, financially, things weren't as good as they should be, you know, or as we would expect everything to be whenever this time it comes. But she had asked that if anybody wanted to donate to help pay for the funeral, she would get in touch with me, and she asked me to set some up. I don't know how to do anything like that. Setting this channel here up was the hardest thing I've done in quite a while. So if there's anybody, okay, so he's already passed then.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, I don't know. I've known Mike for about 2 years through YouTube only. Heck of a guy. He'd always, I mean, a lot of people didn't know it and stuff, but he was pretty good with knives and things like that. And he was just like the rest of us, a good outdoorsman that enjoyed doing things and seeing something and trying it. But if there's anybody that does know how to do something like that, if they wanted to get in touch with them, just send me a PM on my thing and I can get you a number to her. And I don't really know what she was asking. And I'm no good at this, so
it's tragic. That's sad. Sad.
I mean,
You guys thought a lot. Y'all thought the world of Mike Landreth, and I came in late watching your show, but obviously he had a heck of an impact on you guys, you know.
Well, I mean, they was 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, once you got Mr. Landreth on the phone or on the YouTube or Google Hangout, you was in for 6, 7 hours every night. You know, but you learned a lot. Briar Goat Killer, he can tell you, I mean, many a nights he's been on the YouTube with him and just chatting back and forth. I mean, I don't know. It's been something that's been weighing on me ever since I heard about it Thursday, and I've talked to him 30 or 40 times on the phone. You know, some days it was, "Hey Mike, how you doing?" Other days you just have to hang up because you knew he wasn't listening. I'm not deliberately, he wasn't there.
How old was Mr. Landry?
48.
48. Good.
Yeah.
Not too young. Way
too young.
Mm.
But, I mean, I don't know what else to say on that. I mean, maybe if I'm no good at these things here, we want to just take maybe a minute, and if he has passed, and we can just kind of be quiet for a minute if you like. He did. It was Mike Landreth, 10 something. I never could get that one right. I don't think he had a Facebook. Briar might know that one a little bit better. Yeah, 1022 is one. That's it. But maybe towards the end of the show there, we'll just take a brief moment in remembrance. I mean, I don't know. You know, I haven't heard anything yet, but I mean, I'll tell you what I was hoping all day today was he was just gonna snap right out of it. You hope for the inevitable, I guess.
Yeah, my dad died. He was 52 years old, and we were thinking, my goodness, you know, that's just too young. It's just so young. That's really, you know, that's prime of life, man.
He's a year younger than me. You know, he never really spoke much about any. I mean, he would tell you a little bit, but this had been going on for a little over a year and a half, and I don't know. I guess you hope that that's not the case. I mean, I mean, you don't want to see anything like that happen, especially to someone you know. And you know, well, heck, I don't know. Most of you guys and gals are probably the same as I am. There's not one of you guys here that don't mean something to somebody, and we all enjoy waiting to see what our friends on YouTube are doing, or you know, where they've been, what they're doing, and stuff like that.
That's right. Sue Bible has a good idea. She says, can we do the shout outs to his family like you guys did for Jesse with Southpaw Bushcraft? I'm sure she's talking about for her birthday. That may be a good idea at some point, doing a video tribute to him.
To me, that would be, if that possibility of ever looking down, that put a big old smile on his face.
I think it's a great idea. Well, have you heard anything else from Alan?
I have not heard. He's not even texted me back. Alan I hope that everything's okay with him, but he's been working on his house. You know, as he had said last week, they got the new house, and he's been, you know, on that scooter, you're looking at 35 miles an hour, and you're looking at an hour drive on that motor scooter there and an hour back, and he's been working, painting, putting new toilets in, caulking. He's ready to move into that thing. So he's just been working, and I think he may be just he probably done forgot how to log into YouTube. He's so tired.
Yeah, I imagine he is.
But all of you that had made that suggestion, I think that would be an awesome thing. Maybe just if we could just get it to where everybody put it in, and then just maybe make one long video out of it, or just do several, you know, and tell them, hey, I don't know if his family, his daughter does, and I think one of his sons knows how, but I don't think the wife knows much about YouTube or anything like that.
That would be great for the family to remember him by. I mean, just an added thing, you know. That's a great thing to know that what you've done with your life is for naught, you know, that people do care about you and appreciate what you've done.
Well, I know there's enough talent on here tonight with the 19 or 20 that was watching to make that happen easily. And, you know, I'm sure there's few that don't even know that we have the Hangouts on Monday, that, you know, he has several friends on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I see Tim was in here. I see Trevor's back. I hadn't seen Trevor in quite a while. It's good to see you.
Yes, sir.
I see you drug Manland in with you. If there was ever a funny man that doesn't even have to try to be funny, that would be him.
You got that right.
I mean, hey.
Oh my gosh.
Some of his ideas and creations are just something else.
He's got a grip on video editing. He's really masterful at it. He really is. I hope he's not listening. I don't want to blow his head up, you know. I mean, it barely fits in that hat he's got right now.
As big as that head is, if it explodes, we all gonna see it in 20 states away.
You ain't kidding. They'll call it the Southern Lights.
Yeah. They
He's all right. The world's all wrong.
I had came up with some stuff that I just thought that was a pretty important thing to know, just about being lost and stuff like that. You know, we all practice survival skills and bushcraft and stuff, and then a lot of us veterans, and especially some of these guys that are, you know, above woodsmen, you know, that go out and do this stuff on a daily basis, weekly basis. You know, mention some of the names out there. You know, you one of them, Tim, Manland. You know, they're out there and they're learning these things and kind of getting as much knowledge as possible. Me and you had just briefly mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
Universal distress symbols. You know, these are just some of the stuff. You know, sit down, think, observe, and prepare. You know, for what you're going to do when you become lost. Because everyone that walks out in the woods, the desert, the mountains, you're in a boat, it doesn't matter. You are subject to being able to be lost. I mean, every one of us are. It doesn't matter how good what we think we are. And panic has always been the one thing that I've studied and researched and noticed. It's the panic. Did Alan get in? Huh? I think I lost one of them. Oh, well. Is the thing still going? Because I don't know if, I think, well, I know what it is. He switched over to answer his call from Alan, and it switched off. But anyway, back to the other thing that I was talking about there, and it's something there that may pass it along for a few of the other folks that are in there to know is I mean, there's an acronym, just so you can remember it. It's STOP. You know, when you become lost, just right then, just stop. And the whole thing behind that is sit down, you think, you observe your surroundings, think about the situation that you're in it, which is the T, and then you observe, you know, your surroundings, seeing what's going on. You know, is there people? Do you hear noises? Do you not? Do you, you know, are there animals that you're not familiar with? And then start preparing for the situation that you're in. And those are just simple things for those that don't know this, that may tune in, that may be younger, that hasn't had the experience. And that's the biggest thing is we start assessing the problem and saying, oh, I've got this. This is what I'll do. I'll take off and head this way. And before long, you've done walked 3 miles away from where you need to be going, and now you're in a circle.
You better believe it.
water and shelter is probably the main things, you know. And shelter doesn't have to be, especially if it's hot, you know, it doesn't have to be nothing elaborate. You know, you just need something other to help keep you warm, keep the rain off. It starts coming in and things like that. I see Alan Hobbs.
Alan Hobbs.
Raise that camera up. I see no nipples. There you go. Do not.
I'm on my phone.
You are supposed to. You on your phone doing it?
Yeah, the Google plugins thing, everything on my computer's crashing. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for now.
Is it moving around now?
What?
Prepare is the P in it. Is it? They said that it's locked on me for right now.
It is.
I don't know. I haven't done anything to lock it. I just wonder if it's because y'all are on cell phones right now.
I don't know. That might be.
Tell me this. Did it switch over? Because I've got you pulled up.
No. I'm looking at Alan right now.
So then it's not locked on me.
Well, that was on my phone. I'm not seeing it on the on YouTube.
See, I don't know how it's doing.
So, Alan, are you tired? You wore out?
Yeah, man, I've been doing a lot of work on that house over there. I actually slept over there for the last 2 nights in a row on the floor, eating cookies and crackers.
Oh, heck yeah.
And that's a step up.
Yeah.
You didn't have no ramen noodles?
Nah, didn't have no way to cook them either, or I didn't have a pot with me. It's
Well,
kind of like camping over there. There's electricity, but I didn't bring no pots and pans or nothing. Most of the stuff I carry over there, I carry on my scooter. But we've been going back and forth to Lowe's, buying all the repairs and stuff to, you know, toilets and just whatever we need, and trafficking back and forth.
Oh, heck yeah.
My wife works all day, so I just let my
Buddy could have brought you some ramen noodles.
I got some at home. I just haven't took none up there. I probably should.
You know, I like them things, too. I don't know what it is about them. I just like them.
I love them. I don't see how anybody can not like them.
Hey, y'all talk about ramen noodles for a minute. I got to go get something.
Well, Alan, how you liking the workshop, buddy?
I haven't even got to see enough of it, but I'm finding a lot of stuff. You know, I'm doing a lot of stuff I had never done before. Like I installed a toilet, brand new toilet, had to put that all together, and that was a big mess. I mean, the ring that the toilet goes to was broke. One of the screw things was broke, so it wouldn't hold down. And we have a concrete foundation there, so there wasn't no going under the house to do nothing.
Oh,
and I went to Lowe's, and I was telling the guy we needed a new one of them rings, and I was asking him how to install it. He said, well, you're going to have to cut the pipe. I said, how am I going to cut the pipe? We're on a concrete foundation. Oh. He looked at me like, yeah, you're a crap creek without a paddle. And he said, what's the problem? And I said, well, one of the things that holds the screw in is broke. He said, oh, well, that's an easy fix. And he gave me this metal ring that fits right over that. You screw it in the floor.
Oh, okay.
So then I bought drill bit for that, and I bought screws that were too long, so I had to sit there with my Dremel and cut each screw off to fit the size.
Good Lord, that took a hell of a job.
Yeah, and then another thing, the pump wasn't working, and I thought that was going to be a big money thing. You know, the pump, you'd have to go out there and hit the little electrical thing with a pipe, and then it would cut on for the well water, and that's all we have out there is well water. And so we went looking at a pump, and I was talking to that same Lowe's guy, and I said, yeah, I said, we're probably going to have to get a new one. And he was like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to. He said, if you're going to buy a pump for your house, don't get one of these crappy pumps from Lowe's. He said, go to Big Blue Store and get you a good one. Like, man.
That's right. That's right. I tell you,
man,
like that, the better you can afford, the better off you are, it seems like. It really does seem like you get what you paid for with that kind of stuff, you know?
But he saved me anyways. He asked me what's wrong with my pump, and I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know nothing about pumps. I said, but there's a little electrical box over there, and he named whatever it was. And I said, you got to hit it with a pipe, and then it'll cut on. I said, but it shoots sparks back and forth. And once again, he said, oh, well, he said, that's an easy fix. I'm going to save you some money. I said, how? And he pointed out just that little electrical box was only $26. He said, this should fix the problem. And I went in there and put that on and worked perfect. Saved us about $100.
Heck yeah. You didn't have to prime it or nothing to get it going?
No, because the pump was already working. It was just the electrical part that kept cutting off and on.
Oh, okay. You know, it didn't drop pressure after that?
I don't guess. I mean, that house been empty for 2 years, you know, and so I guess it should have already dropped pressure, but no, I didn't have to prime it or nothing. All I did was hook the electrical up, and it worked fine.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Good Lord. That's a job. That is a job.
So that was the major money costing things that saved us money and got that out of the way. All the rest is mainly just cleaning, caulking, and painting. And we bought some new faucets for the sinks and new drains. And like a brand new pump. We moved it.
Heck yeah. You're going to really enjoy that, Alan. I guarantee you. You're going to enjoy it.
I'm already enjoying it, man. I'll go out there and sit on the fireplace while I'm working. You know, I can only stand up for so long. My health don't let me work real hard. I'll go sit on the fireplace and just sit there and stare at the empty house, and I'm like, yeah, I like this. This is home.
Heck yeah.
And he can ride his scooter right up on the porch.
Yeah.
Hey, we got double garage door openers now. I just ride my scooter and press the button, open the garage right on in. We're high class now.
Uh-oh.
I heard that.
You are going to have to change your nipple shot.
Yeah, I can't see me. All I see is y'all. I can't see me.
All I can see is I can reach over and pinch that thing.
Oh, my.
They're gonna ban us. They're gonna ban us for porn.
Oh my God!
I guess that's the bushcraft and survival part.
That's right. That's. Oh Lord!
I wanted to get on here with y'all tonight. I'm reinstalling my computer back to an earlier date, and I thought, hey, I can jump on the phone and try it.
They you remember how you said Windows 10 we couldn't get our cameras to work? Well,
Yeah.
I've done some investigation a while ago, which is why I didn't call you back. All I had to do was unplug it, uninstall it, and then go through it and reset it, and it's all the same now. You can adjust it, pan it, move it around and everything. It's just whenever that plug and play, when it first comes up, it automatically just downloads camera settings.
I might have to go ahead and get Windows 10 because I don't know. It done messed up my computer to where I can't get it back to normal, and it's still telling me up top there, get Windows 10 now.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this new computer, it's the bomb diggity.
I know, man. I'm jealous as heck. I can't imagine that. It'd be hard to get off of a good computer for me for a few days. I'd be like,
the thing is, I'm sitting in here looking inside of it right now, and I got little lights flashing and all this stuff. 16 gigs. I know when I clicked.
Did you get everybody over? Did you get everybody switched over?
We got 16. We had 19 earlier, but they didn't see you, so 3 of them left.
No, they saw him, and that's when they left them. They're scared of them nipples.
Yeah. I think most of them pretty much kind of flipped over. Donnie, he went on there and advertised for it while I was trying to get. That was a quick trying to throw this thing together. I didn't do any Google Plus thing for it. He switched over to you.
Yeah. I keep on trying to load it on my computer, and it's still saying the same thing. Google Talk plugin has crashed.
Wow.
I'm gonna go ahead and let the Windows 10 do its thing and try that again.
I asked you a question, and I had semi-knew this, but I didn't because I'd heard my uncle tell me a long time ago. Breathe through your mouth or breathe through your nose when you're low on water.
What's the question? Should you breathe through your mouth?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
I would imagine nose.
Yeah.
The mouth, you're sucking in the air that's going to dry out all your saliva.
Well, it actually keeps you from
Water.
It hydrates you longer. It's not from that part of it there. When your mouth is closed with it, you're breathing through, so it goes through the back and not through the front. I had heard it, and I've never had much of a problem with it because I chew tobacco anyway, so therefore, naturally, I'm breathing through my nose 99% of the time, which they say is the wrong thing to do for working out and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I just thought it was some neat little information.
How you can get the same air capacity breathing through your nose, like when you're working out and stuff like that.
Right. Well, no, they say to breathe through your mouth and not your nose.
Yeah. Because you get more air.
Right.
But I wanted to ask you something, Mike. I told you. Yeah, that's right. I told you I was starting to fool with knife making and stuff, and we chatted a little bit. I was wondering if you got any projects going on right now, any bushcraft projects.
Bushcraft projects or bushcraft knives?
Well, both.
I've got these little things. I don't know if you can see. I might have to unplug it, but see these little things here?
Yeah.
This one's a 500, and I got 2 terabytes on a 1 terabyte and another terabyte. Well, that's what I was having to keep everything on. I've got 3 years worth of videos that I've just never got a chance to upload.
Good Lord.
I'm just working on them, but now that I've got this computer here, I took and made a couple of videos just for the wife. She wanted some of Caden, and it averages out between all of them. It's right at 3.5 gigabytes for the video for each one of them. And that Corel 8 that I'm using, between it and the computer, I done every bit of it in about 18 minutes.
Good.
Done, processed, put together. It's just so much difference. I didn't realize a 2003 computer was that old.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord. What about you, Alan, besides the house? What you got planned bushcraft-wise?
Nothing in the real near future, but I did go find a spot where I'm going to do, what's that guy's name? Crafted did a 20-mile hike home challenge.
Yeah.
And pretty much challenged anybody who wanted to do it. So I'm going to do that in the fall. We went and picked out a spot where my wife could drop me off, and I think it's actually 27 miles away from the house where she'll drop me off. And then I'll make my way through, it's a creek called Collie Creek, and that'll come out past my house, and then I'd have to get on the road and walk back to my house. So I got that coming up, but I'm going to have a lot more camping videos before then. Just right now it's getting settled in and all that stuff going on. In
the daytime. What kind of are you getting? How hot is it getting over there?
Oh, it's hot. It's like in the 90s, 98. And it's fluctuating a lot. Like 2 or 3 days it'll be 96 to 98. And then some days it'll be 96 to 98, but the humidity will be gone and it'll feel like it's only like 81 or something. So our weather's fluctuating like crazy day by day. Some of these nights we're getting in the 69s.
We hit 65 the other day. You had asked about that question with it. Most of mine will be pretty much camping and hunting. I'll start hunting in about 4 weeks. The season will kick open pretty good for us. I've got 6 videos that I shot yesterday and the day before yesterday. I just have to find the time to put them together. But I tried something different. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Nature Calls or not, but I started watching some of his videos, and he's talking about the quality of your videos and how to make them to keep people interested. And I noticed that some of my beginning videos were getting more views than the ones that I'm doing now, and I have way more subscribers. And I think a lot of it was then I wasn't putting so much thought into it. So I started shooting with 4 cameras on this one right here. So at 4 cameras, all 4 of them are on. So I've got 4 different angles going on at every second that's flashing through of what I'm doing. So this way, when I go to editing, I can flip from here over to here, back to here, and then back and forth. And that way I can keep, you can see what I'm doing from 4 different angles, as opposed to just saying, okay, I'm going to do this. So,
how do you set all that stuff up?
How?
Yeah.
I just put them on 4 different tripods at 4 different angles.
Yeah, but how do you activate them at the same time? And so when you go to editing, how in the world you do that?
I just go over there and hit play on 2 of them, and the other 2, I just hit the Bluetooth thing on it.
Gotcha.
Then, I mean, they'll be like, from the time of setting this one to this one to this one to this one, and then getting set up in the middle or wherever I'm at, there'll be that amount of time there. With that Corel, Alan's just started using it. You just click on the video and you can start and stop wherever you want to. I mean, it's unbelievable how easy it is. To me, it's simple. Now, the first week it wasn't. I was about ready to throw it away, but I'd been spending $100.
And that's Corel?
Yeah.
What's the name of the whole name of the program? Corel what?
Corel Video X7 or X8 on the new one that I just got. I had X7 Pro.
Gotcha. I tell you what I'm looking forward to in the next couple of weeks. Down here we get the big white shrimp that come in the bayous to spawn and all that kind of stuff, and we can bust their butt with make little bait balls out of cornmeal and cat food, and you drop you tie a light wherever you are, whatever wharf or pier, whatever you're on, bridge, down there close to the water, and those big suckers, man, they're attracted to the light. But then when you throw that bait ball in there, it starts disintegrating, and you can tear them up, man. I mean, these some big doggone shrimp too, and that's a lot of fun.
I ate shrimp for 37 years, 38 years. I mean, I could sit down with 5 pounds and eat it at one time. I mean, I love it. And I still have the craving for it. But one day I ate it and nearly died. My oxygen count dropped way down below where it should be. They said I shouldn't have been around. He hit me with the thighs with these 2, it looked like 2 Mountain Dew cans.
Oh, Lord.
I was about dead, but that's what they told me. There's not one person that's not subject to just that one bite, and now you have a total allergic reaction and just kill you.
I can't eat them. I can't eat them. I was born and raised in a seafood family. My father was a commercial fisherman, a shrimper, and I mean, I had anything I wanted. But I can't eat any shellfish. None.
That's where I am. Shellfish is off limits. Now, imitation crab, I can eat it. which is pollock, I think.
What did you say bit you, Mike?
Nothing bit me. I ate some shrimp one day, and they're just like that. I was allergic to it from then on.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's what the doctor was telling me, and that was where you go to these specialists and they tell you all this stuff. But they had said that it just at any given time, there's not one of us that is not subject to having an allergic reaction to it. And said once it happens, it's like a cup. It just keeps filling up and tilting, and it'll eventually fill over, and that's the reaction. And it may level back up, and you can eat some more. But they said, if you want to take that chance, you can, but you may not be that close to a hospital next time. They said I got an EpiPen that I carried for about 2 years in case I came in contact with something that was cooked. But we like to go to the Shoguns and places where they do hibachi grills, the Japanese hibachi. But I have to go into the ones that have a real good vent where, you know, it's a good. You can't just go to the mom and pop store and do it, because poof, the sucking it in is worse than the actual eating it.
Yeah, so, I've developed this thing where, I don't know, I guess it's just I don't know if it's evolution or whatever it is, but I've gotten to where I don't like the smell of it cooking anymore, because I know, I guess it's just, I know what I'm in for, you know.
Yeah.
I just rather not even fool with it, you know. And it's really bad for people in my family and stuff, you know. I feel bad for them because they love it, you know.
Yeah.
That's okay though. I grab me a chicken leg and a tater log and I'm good.
We have a guy down the road down here, and he'll pay for it. He'll give you $5-10 for the turtles, you know, that you catch and stuff. But about once every month, I guess, he'll go out there and he keeps them in these, you know, those plastic drums, but they're like the 55-gallon drums or 50-gallon drums. Yeah, he just cuts the tops off of them and throws like 4 or 5 of them down in there. And then he throws food in there, you know, what scraps or whatever. But that's what he keeps them down in. And then about every month, he'll go down through there and he sells the plates. They're like $10 or $15 a plate. But he donates that money to the Scottish Rites.
What kind of turtle is that he can do that with?
I don't know. Whatever you call them, those snapping turtles is what we call them around here, like alligator turtles.
Okay, I got you. You know, we got a lot of, well, not a lot, but we've got this species of turtle. It's some kind of a tortoise, actually. We always called them box turtles, but they're really a little land tortoise. And, man, they'll throw you under the jail if you fool with them things, man. I don't understand it. They're everywhere. You can't help it.
Wayne.
I don't know.
Go ahead. I was just telling Wayne good night. My fingers are...
All right, Cole Craven. Rock on with your bad self, boy. That Cole Craven's tough as a pine knot, boy.
I was trying to watch that Alone show tonight on my computer, which is still messing up, but I see that Alan won, which I knew that a week ago, though.
Was it you that I was talking with, Donnie, about it?
Yeah.
I was amazed at, you know, being gone that long. What is that, 8 weeks maybe that he was gone? I don't remember how many, how
days.
How so much can change in a child's life. And that's what I'd mentioned in the beginning. You know, a kid, you know, has such a distance, especially at that age. And I kind of sensed that. To me, it was my personal sense. I mean, it may not have been. It was like they weren't as shocked, you know, as like if I'd been gone for a week. I come home and my son would have knocked me plumb flat out the door out there holding on. You know, it was kind of like a shock. You know, but then again, you know, that's film too. You don't never know how it was done. You know, as he had already been at home a week, and then they come by and done the filming.
Tell you what, though, he was one more classy Southern gentleman.
I agree with what you said. He done us justice.
He sure did. He sure did. I tell you what.
I was just amazed at his education level.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He wasn't a. He's not a. You know. He has some couth to him.
Yeah, but then again, he's like a rat turd too. He's sharp on both ends.
Exactly.
But I really liked him though. I really did. You know, we were talking about that little test, that little personality profile thing on, I guess it was the history.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I took the test, that little personality thing, and it said that I matched up to Alan. I said, Alan? Oh, come on, man. You know?
Give me Mitch. Give me somebody I know.
Watch on YouTube all the time, you know. But damn if he didn't win.
He I think he done very well. I mean, I was pleased watching the whole show. I was interested in it. I didn't get to watch it every night that it aired live because of my work on Fridays. I have to go in at 4 a.m. so it was kind of hard to stay up till 11 o'clock and get back up at 3 o'clock to go in at 4. So, but I did make a point to watch it.
I'm like you though. I believe Mr. Hobbs would give him a hell of a run if he ever got the chance.
I would have to say, since Alan's not on here anymore, he's playing off in his own land. I can say what I want to. Alan's just that kind of guy that would be spiteful enough to win it.
Yeah. He just out-mean the whole thing.
He's like, I told you I could do it, Mike. I told you. Now somebody go get me a medic because I'm laying here and I can't move.
Pretty much, 99% guarantee you that they'd had to come drag my butt out of there. All that would have been on my mind the whole time. Every time I thought about tapping out, I'd be like, $500,000.
I tell you what would get Alan.
That's a lot of money.
Alan would be sitting out there, and the first time he heard sirens, he'd be off the show because he'd done be running. Popo's here. I got to go.
Right.
They're still coming to get me. I'll be all in.
Never find him.
I wonder if anybody attempted. It seems like it would have been cool to just go on a day hike. Like Alan and that kid was only 4.4 miles away.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if anybody attempted a day hike to go find another one, or if that was against the rules or whatnot.
That's a good point. I don't know. You know, you were talking about it earlier about, you know, the rule of threes and when you get lost and things like that. And one of the things, you know, everybody needs to have a daggum whistle if they go out in the woods, especially if they're not smart enough to let somebody know they're going out there, because your voice leaves you. You can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if those guys had stuff like that, whistles or whatever. I just can't help but wonder if they didn't communicate in some kind of way.
Cole Craven's on here. I don't know if he could mention it or not. He may have just logged out. He said he was fixing to go to bed. But I know they had the walkie-talkies, and I just wonder if they had a squelch button on it as well. And I'm sure if they was some kind of transmitter, satellite thing, or whatever they were using, if there was some SOS signal that they could use in case something like that would happen, you would think. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because if you think about some of those guys, they said that, well, like with Wayne, it took those guys forever to come get him.
Yeah.
He was out there with his bear and all that kind of junk. It seems like some kind of a buddy system or some kind of thing, you know. I don't know. I just can't imagine just leaving people out there, you know. And
Yossi Wyndham just said they were told to turn the other way if they saw one.
Oh, really? Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
If that transmitter thing would be the only thing that would catch me, because I'd have to say, y'all didn't see me.
Right.
I'm Alan Hobbs, wasn't me.
That's right. Right, wrong, or otherwise, I'd blame Alan if I could.
How many?
I look forward to all this. Go ahead.
Well, you can go ahead and say it.
I really look forward to where I'm moving at. It's all new campgrounds for me. All those woods out there will be new territories for me to play in. Black River, Collie Creek, no more South River, which I can still go to the South River, but I'll be closer to the Black River now and Collie Creek and a lot of woods.
Don't go in July.
Yeah.
And don't take no canoe.
The surveyor guy who lives across the street said that if I was to go across the street and straight back in the woods, he said it's just all swamp out there. He said he had to survey it to get up to his chest and water and snakes.
Good Lord. I'll go on record saying I'm jealous. I need some camping ground. Sure do.
You're jealous.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, you could have took that 20-hour drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And slept
Point.
7 hours and listened to Alan snore for 8.
Hey, I'd give him a run for his money, I promise you.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's the exact same words I told him, and you're not going to do it. There is no way in heck anybody could ever.
Oh, my God. Alan, you going to let him sit there and talk to you like that?
He's going to have to because he can't deny it.
Everybody who's never been sleeping got something to say about it. When I sleep in a motel room with my brother, I sleep in the bathtub.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm seriously looking forward to fall and winter, man. I tell you what.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. This heat is just ridiculous.
It is. It is, and you can't enjoy it, you know. I mean, you could try to be tough and say, yeah, I take the heat and everything else, but yeah, you can get out there and be tough and sweat yourself half to death. I'd rather enjoy what I'm doing. That's why I do it. It's for enjoyment, you know, not so much anything else.
That's another video I'm gonna make. I don't know if I do it this year. I might though. While it's still hot, there's a bridge right down by our house, and it's pretty high up from the water. And folks jump off of it. I'm gonna go jump off of it and video all that. That's where I'll be probably starting to be dropped off to go camping at that bridge, and then I'll just go through the woods and find a spot somewhere.
Oh heck yeah!
I pulled my.
Hey, you down 65 pounds.
Do what?
You said your pack weighs about 65 pounds?
That's one side of it.
Most of the time, I'm breaking that down. I'm getting too old and too disabled to be carrying that bad boy around.
I'm just wondering, what in the world you got in there that weighs that much?
I know.
I showed y'all on the last video. I took everything out and showed you exactly what's in there. And it still weighed right at about 65.
It don't look like that would weigh that much, does it?
Pick
My
it
wife
up.
always laughs about it. Yours is just as heavy. Mike carries 2 bags that heavy.
Mine weighs 24 pounds. Wasn't that what it was over there? Nowhere near 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine without food now, without any food of any kind or water, it's right at 25, 26 pounds.
I'm gonna break mine way down to that. I have to.
A lot of Alan's is camping stuff, but it's camera stuff. You know, I mean, that's what you say. 25 pounds probably is just in cameras and camera stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because you had that gorilla. He's got one of those gorilla arms that's about 3 foot long or 4 foot long. It's that big around. I mean, you could pretty much use it for a Canon tripod.
Wow.
I mean, a Canon.
Well, and he does shoot a lot of video too, so I guess he's carrying a lot of power stuff too, huh?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 big chargers in there.
Yeah, I carry chargers, batteries, a lot of extra batteries because I have extra batteries for all the flashlights and everything, and tripod, gorilla, tripod, 2 cameras.
Weapons Machinist wants to know why he's been waiting on your channel, Alan. So you explain that one.
Waiting on my channel for what?
He's been waiting on your channel for you to start the show.
Oh. I apologize about that, y'all. I don't know what happened. My computer, a few days ago or a week or so ago, I downloaded that Windows 10 like it told me to, and it screwed everything up. And so I reinstalled it back to factory, but something's missing because everything is screwed up. My YouTube videos ain't the same. watching stuff on the computer ain't the same. And now it's won't let me go on a video because it's saying Google Talk plugin crash. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be like Mike and get me one of them real fast ones, like high-dollar computers.
Remember what year I said my computer was? 2003. How many have you owned since 2003?
Shoot, just one? Two?
You've owned two since I've known you.
Just two. I'm on the second one now, and it was like the cheapest one I could find because my sister was buying it for emergency for me. So it's a $350 system, but it ain't no kind of high speed stuff.
Hey, Weapons. I didn't announce it on my channel because it was about 10:15 whenever I got the text message that said, go ahead and start it on your channel because I can't get mine going. So I hurried up, and it was about 10 after. So that's probably why I had Donnie go over, and he kind of mentioned it on it. But sorry about that. We'll host another show just for Weapons.
Yeah, heck yeah.
There's what? Did you get any of the stuff about Mike that we talked about earlier, Alan?
I got what you told me, but have you announced it on here yet?
I did, but I can't remember who it was. They said they heard that he had already passed. I haven't heard from his wife yet, but I mean, I would be the last person to be called if it was. I mean, I could understand. You know what I'm saying? I would be talking to family, and I know they're having a hard time trying to figure it out.
Well, if anybody on here, I know most of y'all are probably poor like the rest of us, but if anybody's rich and can handle forking out any money, I think Mike's wife was saying that they can't afford a funeral, so she's reaching out for help, and we don't know how to help her. I don't know. I don't have an extra dime to send nobody, but if I did, you can bet I would help her out best I could.
They Manland and Sue and a couple of other ones had come up with a good one. We all kind of wanting to go along with it. We're going to try to figure out how to do it, but making, I guess, a tribute to Mike Landers doing a video, and kind of like they did with Jesse off Southpaw Bushcraft, just something other you remember, and then just post the video and send it out, let the family know.
Yeah. Tim, I don't know what an edge is. I'm not sure what you're meaning, the edge. Alan, not your edge, use Internet Explorer. What is the edge? Is that a...
That's the new thing for Microsoft Internet Explorer. It's on mine. I've got 4 different ones opened up.
Tim, I don't have Windows 10 right now. Right now, I've put it back to 7, but I've never used Edge. That's the first time I actually ever heard of it.
It's on the Windows 10. It's Bing, I think is what it is.
I mainly use Firefox anyways. I don't hardly ever use a Microsoft one. I use Firefox. Usually I'll have Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Chrome, and if one ain't working, I'll try a different one.
I looked up the screen. I thought Donnie was doing jumping jacks.
Yeah, I was stretching a little bit.
So we had talked about the GoFundMe for Mike, and the way that works, I'd used that before, and the way that works is it mainly advertises just to your friends on your social sites. It's like you put up whatever you're needing funded for, and then it pressures you into sharing it with all your Facebook friends, sharing it with any social site you're on, Twitter, so on and so on. So the only way that would really work, I mean, I guess it would work for anybody who has a caring heart, but I would think it'd work better if it was a GoFundMe for his Facebook page, which I don't even know if he has, to go to all his friends. Because like if I do a GoFundMe, only my friends are going to see it, and most of my Facebook friends or nobody knows anything about Mike, so it probably wouldn't mean much to them. I'd like to find out what they're going to do. I mean, that's a sad situation if they can't afford a funeral. Golly, what do you do when you can't afford it?
Well, the state generally, I mean, I know Georgia, they do a cremation. is what they do. It's $1,000 in the state, and Social Security, I think, pays $1,000. And generally for a burial, it's about, here in Georgia, the minimum is about $4,500. Is about what they average. It was $22,000, I think, when my dad passed, and of course now we went with a appreciation coffin, I guess is what you would call it. I mean, it was, more of it, but the rest of it, I mean, just the opening, the closing, and all these things. I mean, it's amazing at the costs that are associated with a funeral. I mean, when you go in there and you sit down, you're vulnerable. I mean, you just lost something that's dear to you, and
that's right.
These people, and I'm not saying anything bad about it, but I mean, they're there to make a living, as it is, but what better time to get you to overspend, on something other, because, I want the extra family car, and you're like, the family car sitting out there and got two people in each one of them, most of the, I don't know.
A coffin alone is outrageous, just to pay for a coffin, and then to pay for a burial site and a tomb and all that stuff is crazy expensive, man.
It is.
I'm sure if I know Mike right, if I know Mike right and his personality, he was probably telling his wife, I don't give a damn, put me in a damn box and put me in the ground. Don't worry about a real funeral. Plant me in the yard over there. That's the person Mike was.
That's right. I'll tell you what, those funeral people, they do, they guilt you. They play on your emotions and all that, and the way their sales pitches are, they're just designed to just totally blindside you with your own emotions and use them against you. When my dad died, that's what they did to us, man. I think about his send-off, and that's when I was a little kid. Now as an adult, I think about that. That was my dad, the way he was. I bet you he was thinking, you dummies, what in the world's wrong with him? You know what I mean?
My dad had an $8,000 policy on him, and that's what he told us straight up. That's what you bury me with. It's $8,000. When I'm gone, he said, anything extra, you tell them no. But that word you said a while ago, that guilt, and that you're like, I think a lot of times it comes up to the thing of, well, my friend's dad passed and they had this.
Right.
I guess, and you fall into it, but
Jones this kind of thing.
My son, when he passed away at 4, I pretty much picked everything out that we was going to do, because my wife at the time, she wasn't ready for something like that. Neither was I, but I mean, she couldn't fool with it. And when I bought mine, which was the same day that I bought his, we'll have the matching kind, but I went with a mahogany wooden coffin. I don't want to be buried. I knew then that I didn't want to be buried in no metal case thing, because I need to get as quick into the ground as I can.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I honestly, I guess something's wrong with it. I don't care what happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you? You're not there.
That's right. I mean, what the heck does a dead person know? I mean, honestly, when they're consciousness, I mean, they have no idea what's going on. If you believe in the good book, and it says absent of the body, present with the Lord. So.
I think. Go ahead, Donnie.
Well, I mean, all these things, I think that we're pressured into thinking that we need to do this, either, like you said, keeping up with the Joneses, or there's something that maybe some business left unfinished that we think, well, at least I can do this to kind of make up for that. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think people should temper all these decisions with common sense. And I tell you what, to the funeral people's credit, hey, they warn you. They tell you, come pre-planned, don't they? They tell you. And a lot of people, that's why they get steamrolled with all these funeral costs, because they don't pre-plan. And I'm guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down.
I feel like when I die, I just don't care what happens to me. Do whatever you want to with me.
It was 14 years ago when I paid for mine and the ex. And it was on that same, when we were sitting in there, I just went ahead and said, we're just doing all of it, you know, because I didn't want, if something happened, I didn't want the kids to have to go through it. You know, that was just, I mean, at that time. And I signed all the papers for his part of it, and then I signed the payment plans for mine and hers, and then after we divorced, I quit paying on hers. And mine's done.
Talking about that ex-wife stuff, I see Steph says Jerry wants to be cremated, and then he wants to ashes in the woods. I want to be cremated too. I want mine spread all over my ex-wife so I could aggravate it one more time.
Yeah. That reminds me of a joke that I dare won't go into, but.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, when my daddy died, none of us, nobody in my family really cared about my daddy. Nobody in my family really cared about my daddy, but when he died, my sister and brother just paid like $350 to have him cremated. And it was like just the cheapest cremation they could get, nothing special, nothing. I don't know how they even do that. But
well, I don't know if y'all are familiar with my area, but do you remember back in 2001 maybe, the biggest cremation fluke of the world in Noble, Georgia? That's about 8 miles from me. I knew all of the marshes very well. I'd been up there many a times. For over 15 years, the bodies weren't being cremated. They found bodies, over 1,200 bodies.
Yeah.
That's about 8 miles from my house.
Oh, seemed like you could have smelled them.
You would be surprised at what would happen when you went around there.
Mm-hmm. Manland says that my wife has explicit instructions on my demise: a black garbage bag, a couple of songs played, and kick me out of the pickup truck in the gully. Let nature and God take care of the rest. That's a good idea. But the police going to come after your wife there, Mark.
That's what I was thinking. So if we ever hear that Manland was in a garbage bag, we don't know if it was her or if he just really died.
That's right. That's right. Either way. No, she's a nice lady. Mark's wife, she's really sweet. She really is. I'll tell you what. You know, that's another thing that that I'm so blessed. I've got a girlfriend that supports me in all my outdoor pursuits and activities and things like that. You know, I just gotta say, you know, hats off to the ladies. You know, and the gentleman, if the situation applies. I appreciate the you know, the support. You know, sometimes that don't go over so good in some houses, you know, and I feel blessed.
I do too. My wife don't like none of the camping stuff, don't get into it or nothing, but she's behind me 100% to do whatever I want to do in that field.
She wasn't behind you tonight because I ain't seen her walk past yet.
She told me that you might go get to see her tonight. She said, well, let me go ahead and use the bathroom and go to bed so Mike don't get to see me tonight.
Alan, I think she's probably in there cooking you a big gourmet supper, huh?
She did.
A box of Captain Crunch peanut butter.
There you go.
We bought one of those, man. They got them, you know, them big old bags of cereal.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that's like Captain Crunch peanut butter now. We got that. It almost even tastes better than Captain Crunch peanut butter, which is really weird.
We have one called Choco Crunch, or Croco Crunch is what it's called. And we sell, on the average, there's 16 in a box, and their bags are 2-pound bags inside of each one of them. And we sell just our brand cereal at least 1,600 to 2,000 pounds every 2 days of cereal.
Lord.
Just cereal by itself. I mean, it's like nobody know how to cook no more.
Right.
We have a program called the Pick 5, and I'm not dissing any of my customers, because without them I'd be unemployed. But there's a reason Pick 5 programs work. It is quick. It is simple. They got $25 to their name. They need a pack of cigarettes, and they need enough meat to last for 5 days. They walk back there, they pick out 5 items that's in the Pick 5, and get their cigarettes and walk out and know they still got 30 cents. But when they got to sit down and figure out a rack of ribs for $7.97 and then some hamburger meat for $3.55, it just throws everything. So you can just you can just watch them. They're like,
Pick 5 thing, we got it over here too, but man, I like it. I swear, dude.
Well, the thing is, you know what you've got. You want to spend $100 in meat, if that's what you want to do. You know when you get up there, it's $100 plus tax, and you're done and over with.
That's it.
You know, you ain't sitting there trying to add it all. Now, my wife and me, we're the opposite. I look at it and it says $3.59 a pound, Pick 5, $3.19 single. And out with a Pick 5, I'm getting another half pound. So.
Well, heck, you can read the labels of what you're buying, you know. Like on our Pick 5, we'll get stuff like a biscuits or some French fries or something like that, or some snap bean, and some of that stuff. You kind of got to take the good with the bad. I mean, you know, you're getting five bags of something. You know, I mean, it may not be worth $2.50, but doggone, it's a good deal on the other.
It is. I mean, without our Pick 5 program, those 8-9 stores that he's got, they would all go under. I mean, it caters really to our clientele. I mean, it's what they need. You know, they can pick through it and get it. And, you know, we even have frozen stuff that's in it now. We have shrimp that's in there. You know, you want 5 meals for the week, you know, it's $20. You know, you got 5 staple foods out of it or whatever. You know, your main meat portion or protein or whatever.
We got some folks on here, Manland and Survival, say that Pick 5 is a ripoff. Huh. Well, I
can't say it is or it ain't, because if I do, then I'll be unemployed. But I can tell you, if you want to, I mentioned it a while ago, it's about 20% or 20 cents more per pound when you buy fresh meat.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, and it's because of the way that it's set up and programmed into it. But if you buy your meat, you know, because you're only going to get a pound and a half most of the time in anything that you buy, you know. But I tell you right now, I see buggies come through there, and we ring them up. It's 5555 and POU. That's the POU number for it that I put into it, and it pops up $19.99, $19.99, $19.99, and I occasionally I'll have to run up there to the front to help them out because we're behind or something, and you will see $300 to $400 of meat per customer coming out there, and it's all 555, 555, 555.
Lord.
I mean, me and Alan was talking about it. You know, they come on down. I'll put you to work, Manland, but you won't be able to make videos like you do. I kidded him one time. I said he was going to make a video. I don't know if he ever got around to it or not, but I don't see how anybody has time in a grocery store to do anything. I worked for almost 20 years in management for one company. I sat with my feet propped up on the desk and got plumb bored with it. I mean, just, gosh, please hurry up and get these 10 hours over with. I said, you know what? I want to just go do something simple. No more crunching numbers, no more of this. So I went next door over there and told a friend of mine that owned them. I said, hey, I just want a simple job. Oh, come on, I'll make you an assistant. You won't have to do that much. I've worked more in 3 years than I did the first 20 at the other place. Physical labor. You are non-stop in them places.
Hey, speaking on jobs, talk about this. This is about prepping here for a minute. Some people have jobs for years and years, and you may think it's never going to end. You need to prep for if it does end. And people like Mike Ware, he's all responsible and stuff and keeps a savings or retirement plan or whatever. But people like me, I ain't never thought about the future. So, you know, which I don't have a job anyways, but if I did and I lost it, I'd be screwed. But I bring this up because my brother worked for Atlanta Gas and Power, and he worked there for over 20 years, and the company got bought out about 6 years ago, and they laid him off. The new owners laid him off because he was one of the most paid people there. Okay, and he had a plan, plus he had retirement and all that stuff, but if he didn't, he would have been well screwed. But then they hired him back like 2 years later, and he's making more money now than he was then, but he sent all of us in the family a text message yesterday morning saying that he just found out his company was bought out again. So he may be going for another layoff. And I say that to make people think, anybody who has any jobs out there, that, I mean, think of what would happen if something was like that was to happen to you. How are you going to prepare for it? You know, I mean, trust me, I'm the most irresponsible person in the world. There ain't a dime in a bank account here for me. But I know that's where it should be. You should have some money put back or something, because if you get laid off from work and then can't find another job, what are you going to do, man? Your bills don't go on pause for you. You know?
That's right. That's
Alan,
right.
tell Mr. Colin Bird what kind of knife it is that you use. Tell him about your sword.
Let me go. Let me go grab it because it don't have a name.
He kids all the time about it. It's not as much as being super responsible. I hit with the company was another reason that I left. I had a lot of stocks that was gave to me, so that's where my savings came in through the company, and they shot from $37 to $237 and 7,000 shares. I cashed out.
All right, Colin. This is a sheath that Brad Allen made me. Got skulls on it and everything. And this knife was custom made for me. My good friend named RJ.
Raul.
It has no name, but it's the best knife I ever had, and probably won't never break on me. I've been used it to chop down trees bigger than my leg, and I use it for everything. And it's heavy. It's 14 inches long. But that's what I use. That's my, every time I go out knife. I always have a backup in my pack just in case, but I don't ever need it. But that's the knife I use.
Talking about knives, you know, in my videos, I like this, you know, this SHF 37 Schrade, you know. I really do. I love everything about that knife. Everything about the knife. I don't have any criticism about it. So I'm going to make one. This is the plank for it. That it's a big one. And this is the difference. It's got about 3.5 inches on the on that knife. And I don't believe or subscribe to a one-tool option theory. I just want something that's going to bust some bushes down a little bit better. I like axes. I prefer axes over saws and things like that. Just for the area that I camp in, it's just a better fit for me. I understand it all depends on which neck of the woods you're in sometimes as to what tool you're going to use. But I don't like machetes. I don't like them. They're cumbersome. I mean, now this thing's gonna be cumbersome for sure, but a dadgum machete, you know, you talk something, you know, that's 24, 26 inches dangling around your leg, you know. But I'm excited about this, man. I think this thing's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
I've been watching Mike's video on how he makes his knives. Boy, ain't too bad of a knife maker, is he, Alan?
Alan's never seen them. Well, Alan and I have this thing. We don't go back past 2 years because I ain't got time to watch all of his crap, and he ain't going to watch all of mine. And so if his video's over 2 years, and I'll be honest with you, I still ain't watched the last 5 that he posted up of his last trip. But I ain't got 6 hours to watch those 5.
Yeah.
I should feel privileged to watch y'all's videos because Mike and I are best friends, and my videos are always the last on his list.
Well, you done told me about them while you're making them. You're like, what do you think? I should do this right here? What about this? I'm like, I'd do it that way. It stuck on me. How does this thing just kind of like freeze up? Does it go by volume?
I always thought it's supposed to go when somebody talks, but I don't know how it works on this phone. I know I can touch my finger on my phone.
I see a button now that says eject.
There you go.
I never knew it had that.
As far as the knives go and what kind, personally, I got, and I really wouldn't want one any lesser than this. I like big knives, and the reason I like this so much, and I know a lot of people are against using your knife for things it's not really made for, but for me, this, if it needs to, this will take the place of an axe and a saw, and I can do everything else with this being near the same thing I can do with a small knife. And I don't know, I like it large, you know. So
I'm the opposite. Me and him was talked about it. Anything over 4 inches is a waste to me, but I don't do a lot of chopping. I carry a hatchet with me most of the time, or an axe. So that's the offset. I'm carrying another 15 pounds in something else. But I do have one that's a good size one being made right now that I'm waiting to present, and then I'll do the whole video, because I started making them a video one time and forgot to finish up the video because I got excited about making the knife, so I had part 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the final I never made. So this time I'm waiting until I get it all done.
What do y'all think about that? Well, Mike, I kind of know what you think, but still, if you'll answer the question, what do you think about this one-tool option business that everybody talks about?
I'm the opposite of it. Hey, Alan, that's an improvement. Put it back. I don't think. I mean, sure, it's out there, and it's a big, huge debate. Me, I use the right tool for the right job, because in a pinch, the one-tool option, sure. You know, if you're in a true survival situation, you know, maybe that's cool to have one knife that'll do it all, like the one Alan's got there. You know, great, it'll do it all because I had it on my side and I'm in good shape. But it breaks, it's no longer a one-tool option. It's lost. It's not a one-tool option anymore. You know, somebody steals it, it's not a one-tool option anymore. They got to steal all 4 of mine. Because I got something to do all of it. That's just me, but I mean, I didn't make $30,000 per series neither.
I hear you. Yeah.
I carry a backpack all the time. I usually have with me 3 knives. I have this one that I carry on my side. I have another one to replace this one, which is a BK2, and then I have that Bushman cold steel that I'll make my bear spear out of. Has the hollow handle to stick on a stick.
I'd like to have one of those, and I've just never bought one yet. I think it would just be cool to have one of my knives that I got. It's got where you can lash it on, you know, to make a spear out of it. But I mean, it takes 3 minutes to lash it on. That thing you got, if you got a stick laying around there, we're done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's actually for a normal knife too. So I mean, it's a good backup knife. It's a spear knife and a backup knife.
Everybody knows me, knows that 99% of my knife use is a Sodbuster Junior. That's just what I use. I mean, most of the stuff I'm doing out there, I'm either using my hatchet or I'm using the Sodbuster because I'm just cutting a piece of rope. I don't need 16 inches of blade.
Yeah.
I didn't find that. My brother sent that to me. And a cool thing, when I was riding on my scooter back from the house the other day, I found a dead turkey that somebody obviously hit on the way there. And the turkey had a big old...
I'm getting a necklace out of that, right? Say it.
Yeah. Oh,
everybody heard it. All 16 of you heard it.
I went back and found the turkey again and cut its claws off or its paws off or whatever you want to call them to make necklaces out of. I cut his beard off, and so I'm gonna glue that beard right here, so you'll have a big old turkey beard hanging there. Yeah, my brother. Anytime he sees a good skull, he knows I collect skulls. Anytime he sees a unique looking one, he'll buy it for me and send it to me.
Night, Death Viper.
Good night. I tell you, good night, Trevor. I tell you something I heard or I seen the other day that was hilarious. There was a lady had posted she would like to see if she could get any help to paint the house or do some painting. And somebody's response to it was, hey, I got a good idea. You send us a board, we'll paint it and mail it back, and you keep repeating this process.
Yeah.
You ever heard that one, Alan? You didn't read Tracy's post about your brother?
No, I don't go.
That's what your brother responded back to it was like, hey, you go and send us a board, we'll paint it and mail it back to you. Only a Hobbs.
Built it one piece at a time. That Cadillac he built.
Yeah, one piece at a time. They before everybody gets out of here, we get quite often we have 3 to 4 women that'll log into it, and I've noticed a lot of the women don't wear belts anymore, and those are when you're going to be out hiking and stuff like that. You know, fashion plays a big part of it, and I understand that with ladies and stuff like that. But a belt is such a perfect thing to have when you're out hiking. I mean, there's so many options. I mean, I've got them wrote down over here, things that I came up with. You know, you can use it to wrap up your clothing, you know, that you've got to have and just chunk it right over the back of you if you're hiking out or whatever. You can actually, those things, anybody ever old enough to know that mama got after you with a belt, that's a weapon. And it can become a weapon. It can become a weapon as well while you're out in the woods if you have to defend anything. You can actually use it to attach a spear point if you didn't have any cordage with you, you know, sharpen up or whatever with it. I've used this before, deer hunting. Run off and forgot all about my stupid rope. For some reason, didn't have it. Well, I've drugged many a deer out by using my belt. It makes a good pull handle. I mean, it's just something other that's good to have with it. If somebody, I've never had to do this, but if you ever had to, you see it in the movies all the time. We just think nothing about it, you know. Somebody's flipped over the side of an edge or a ledge or something other, sling a belt down there, you got a wide grip, they've got a wide grip, they're not cutting into their hand as bad as with a piece of rope. It's something that you can use to pull up with it. Packing firewood. You know, if you've got a rope, you know, we go camping, we have these things, you know. But if you just wanted to go out for a Sunday afternoon stroll with the kids and you wasn't thinking nothing about it, which you should be prepared, but we don't always do it, and no one can really say 100% that they've always done it. They may do it today, but not always. You can use it to bundle up firewood. You know, get you a big, nice bundle of it up while you're carrying it around, and then you can carry it back with you. You can also use it for a splint, or, you know, to tie a splint on, you know, for your leg or whatever. You can cinch it down, things of that. It's natural, it's a cordage in its sense. I seen a guy not too long ago on one of these little shows where he actually took and split the belt in many strands, and used it for a rope, to tie up his shelter and stuff, where he tied them and lashed them together by just splitting them with his knife. And you can use it to carry multiple items. So a belt, even if you just put it on, I mean, hey, belts are sexy on women too, so wear them.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, look at it about for a strap.
I tell you what looks good on women is a hell of a survival tool too. Is one of them gownless evening straps.
Yeah.
I usually wear when I go on my camping trips. I usually wear 2 belts. Anyways, I wear one normal belt and I wear the hold my pants up. And I think it'd be cool to have a belt made like them bracelets, the paracord belt. That'd be awesome. But also I have a leather belt because I like to put all my knife and camera pack and all that stuff on that belt, to where when I get ready to take it off, I don't have to sit there and take one off at a time. I just drop that belt and I lose all my gear that's around my waist, and then I still have a belt on my pants.
That's something I'm going to start doing. I'm glad you said that. That's definitely something I'm going to start doing. Yeah. I want a separate belt for stuff like that, so I can just drop the dadgum heavy knife or whatever I'm got on me. Don't have to.
Because I always have my phone on my belt, my knife on my belt. I have a little case that my camera goes in. It goes on my belt.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. But I just undo one belt and drop it, and that's all that gear without having to take it off one by one.
That's a heck of a good idea, really. It makes sense to do that.
And that way I have 2 belts, so I have, if it ever needs be, I have that much more cordage or whatever I wanted to use it for. And like I was just saying, if you got a leather belt, you sharpen your knife with it and all that stuff too.
Yeah. Well, they sell one of those survival belts like you're talking about, Alan, made out of the paracord.
Did they? I figured they probably would. I ain't never seen one, but I would imagine somebody done come out with it.
Yeah. From what I think they're pretty pricey,
That'd be a good survival belt, though, if for people who knew how to make one and not buy one. But you know how they make the survival bracelet, and you can buy some of these bracelets like this, or make them yourself if you know how to make them, and have a survival kit that's put in here.
Yeah.
They undo the whole paracord to get to it. But imagine if you had a belt like this that was a little bit wider. Imagine how much crap you could fit inside a belt going all the way around the back part of you.
Yeah, very true. Absolutely. You could get a larger, you get all kinds of stuff. You can get big ferro rods in those, not those little bitty matchstick looking ones. You know how they got those bracelets? Real small. But you could get a full size one, I'm sure.
I bet you.
Learn how, because you can go on YouTube and see how to make this stuff real easy.
There's a good website on there. I can't remember the guy's name, but he teaches you everything about paracord. I mean, if it can be, or if it's ever been made, he teaches you every knot. But the next big thing that will hit Bushcraft and YouTube will be whatever was hip and hot in the 80s. What you see. Just mark my word, the next big thing you see everybody blow up over will be from the 80s.
I think it's already done came about twice, hasn't it?
I think we've been in the last 200 years. I guess that's the one thing that's cool about bushcraft and survival and stuff like that. There's very few stuff that comes on that we see that someone didn't find in a book and they just brought it back to us.
That's right.
I mean, most of the stuff has already been, done. It's a lost art. It's something that was forgotten.
It's funny. I was talking to my neighbors across the street. They're like, I don't know how old they are. I'm guessing they're probably 60s, somewhere in their 60s. And I love talking to older folks like that. But they was asking me, have I ever heard of these certain bands that were like back in the 50s and 60s? And a lot of them I didn't hear of. And I told them, I said, I was born in 68. I said, kind of come up through the 70s, listened to a little bit of what y'all listened to. I said, but I'm mainly an 80s child. That man said, 80s suck.
Well, I can say it. In the 80s, I was pretty much a Prince freak. I don't think there was a song that he wrote that I didn't think I was Prince himself. I wanted a purple motorcycle. But I think it was only because of Apollonia 6.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember much about him, but I do remember them.
Yes, yes, no problem.
I read your comment.
Yeah. I'm going to get me a Rambo knife. I remember watching that movie for the first time at the drive-in theater. It was like, I couldn't sleep for 2 days. Oh, dude, he sewed himself up.
But Colin Bird was talking to you, Donnie, where he says, Donnie, I tried to use the
I see that. Yeah, I guess your tarp ripped on you and you fell down. Man, I tell you what, tarpaulins, man, if you're gonna put some weight on them of any kind, you better get a good one. If you want to keep some rain off of you, you know, a plastic type tarp, you know, like Walmart tarp, something like that, which they're pretty good, really. But I went to the dollar store and got this little cheapy woven tarp when I did that little video, and I made a hammock out of it. Man, that sucker, right as I was saying, see you later, guys, or whatever, closing that video, that thing ripped on me. Ripped right there. And thank God, I mean, I didn't follow through it or anything, but yeah.
You know, the bad thing about a hammock is, and I've used mine several times now, I don't never just jump down in that sucker.
No.
I mean, even though it's supposed to be able to hold 700 pounds according to the specs on it, I don't just flop right off in that thing because it's one of those easy. And you never, and I'll tell everybody so they know, you will not see me getting in a hammock on video for the first time. When you see that video, I done been in and out of that thing 8 times.
I tell you what was funny. I was winter camping in that hammock, and man, I just hated having to get in a sleeping bag. It was such a pain, you know. And anyway, so I said, I got this figured out. So I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step in that sleeping bag and pull that sucker up to my shoulders, and then I'm going to sit back like that. Man, I went dead on top of my head. I mean, on top of my head. It hurt so damn bad. All I could do was laugh. And there wasn't anybody around for miles. But I ain't gonna do that no more. You don't have any tips? Any tips for you know, getting in your hammock without, you know, I mean.
Hey,
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna bring me a pee jug. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start using one.
The only time I fell out my hammock is I tied it up wrong. I tied up the ridge line that holds up the mosquito net instead of the line that holds up the hammock.
Oh, Lord.
Just so happened to have it on a bank, you know, like a bank come down. So I was just flopped right in a minute, and there I went right to the bank and tore up my ridge line for that mosquito net.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. And that one time I went and I broke my little hatchet, you know. I was camping, and anyway, I cut my foot with a hatchet. That's something, you know, axe people and all that. I mean, you know, people and stuff. If you're not careful, if you're not used to using them all the time, they will get you. And like I said, I mean, when I was 7 years old, my first overnighter, I mean, that Christmas, you know, I got a tent and I got a hatchet, you know, and I was just so, and I've had to bang myself up when I was a kid, but heck, man, last year, you know, you get so comfortable with the tool, And man, I just glanced off a little log and thought that I just knocked myself. And a little bit later on, I said, God darn, that thing hurts. I looked down there and I put a 1-inch gash in the top of my foot. And man, and that was bad enough. But what hurt the worst was I got up in the middle of the night. I had to pee something bad. I mean, it was well overdue, you know. I mean, I needed to go right now. And when I got out of there, man, the first thing I did was I kicked the oak root right there with no shoes on, man. Have y'all ever done something like that? Kick a root when you're, you know, or a rock or something like that? Alan, the way you go, them rivers, them rocks and stuff, you know.
I was sitting out there in my driveway the other day. My son wanted me to go out there and lift his seat up on his bicycle. And I was going to wait to do this, but I'll just post it out here for the 13 that's watching now. I'll give each one of you that make a video a challenge. Walk 20 yards across a graveled driveway. It's got to be gravel, not grass and gravel, but gravel. Not the little pea gravels neither, but just a regular standard 57 gravel. Walk across it 20 yards and under a minute. I want to see it because it took me 30 minutes to walk 9 feet. I told him finally, I said, bring that bicycle over here. And here he goes, no shoes on, just trotting right across the yard, pushing his bicycle or the driveway. I thought it was going to kill me.
You got tenderfooted, didn't you?
Yes, I have.
Man.
Deep South, I usually buy the cheapest one I can get, but I was wanting a good smoking one, and this Churchill does real good. But I also got the Dr. Graybo here that I use usually when we're riding the car.
What's something like that cost?
I forget the name of this one. You can get these Churchills, the cheaper brands of them, off of eBay for like $19, $20-something. Or Dr. Graybo's, you ain't gonna get a Dr. Graybo hardly for no cheaper than $39 to $49, the cheapest ones.
Send me one of them.
But as far as if you want a good pipe, them some guns cost. Yeah, I mean you well over hundreds of dollars for a good pipe.
Well, I tried it. I got a video that I never have posted. I just made it for Alan. I like to choke to death trying to smoke that pipe. I'll tell you what, I got a brand new pipe to give away if Mike Ware wants to pay the shipping. What is it?
Still in the box. Just a pipe in a box. It ain't nothing special. I bought 4 of them. It come in 4 wholesale.
Well, give it away. I'll pay it. I'll send you the PayPal money. You ship it from your house.
Let me go grab it.
Hey guys, for the folks remaining on right now, Stan with Deep South Experience and I have been talking about a bushcraft gathering here in Mississippi. And we still want to go forward with that, and we want to do this October the 9th, 10th, and 11th. I mean, the 9th's going to be on a Friday, but the actual meet being Saturday and part of Sunday and load up and go home. Now, we're thinking about doing this at Roosevelt State Park. It's right by Morton, Mississippi, and that's about...
How do you spell that?
M-O-R-T-O-N. I think it's going to be something that people can really enjoy. I encourage anybody around the South, particularly, you know, Alabama, Louisiana, Tennessee, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, the Deep South, you know, just because of logistics, you know, being able to get there possibly, you know, easier. Right now, this Stan did some research on the campground itself. I've been there camping many, many, many times, and it's a really nice campground. They've got a pretty nice primitive area, but we want to start this thing off kind of slow this first time, get our bearings with it, and hopefully we can continue this, make it an annual event. The primitive campground holds, I think it's about 15 sites, and but they've got a huge RV site, and if you're an RV person or whatever. But we want to do bushcraft skills demos, and we want everybody to get over there and share, and tell some lies, and hopefully we'll all learn something.
So you're inviting fishermen?
I am. But it would be an honor if you guys could come, Alan and Mike. I tell you.
I can come as if Mike goes get me.
You got a scooter. If you left today, you'd get there. And it wouldn't cost you but $6 in that little old thing.
Yeah. The stand right now says there's a limit of approximately 20, I think.
The hiker sent me sewer from a yard sale. Man, I still smoke those. Those weren't brand new. They were used. But see if y'all can see this. Brand new in the pack. This is a funky little pipe, but it smokes good. It's a little video thing. Like that. And it's got a little metal bowl in it. It's probably made for pot smoking, but I use it for, it holds a good bit of tobacco. I don't think you'd want to fill that up with pot unless you got a whole lot of money to buy pot.
What's pot?
Marijuana, pot, drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good little smoking pipe, and this kind is skinny. So, like, when I ride in the car with my wife, it fits right in that little side console real easy. See how skinny that thing is? But I'll give one of these away, and I'll let Mike handle any kind of drawing to get it, whoever wins it.
Good Lord, I don't know how to do that. I guess just everybody that's in, just pop it in, and I'll see if we can't do a random.org or something that if you're in, and you tell me the numbers. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like, what's that guy's name? Forrest Gump. I've had too many Dr. Peppers. I got to go pee.
I hear you.
So,
I've been drinking water the whole time.
While you're sitting here, you let them, if they want to be in on it, then I'll come back and then do a random.org and try to do a screen share on it whenever I pop it up. That work?
So I got to write all the names down, huh?
Well, you can just probably get them to not type anything, and, well, I don't know, just get them to, yeah, you got to write the names down. Well, I can't lie to you. Parker Ridge says he's 7. There you go. You got 1 and 14, so just tell him to give a number. Like Parker Ridge says 7, so there, he's got 7, so they can't go 7. But I'll be right back. Hey, Donnie?
Yes,
I'm going nowhere.
I
Anybody that's in, just type in, I'm in if you want to win this pipe, and I'll write down the numbers, and we'll go to the .org. We got Sue, she's going to be number 1. Parker, number 2.
I'm in.
Tommy, number 3. Who else? Tim, number 4. Donnie.
Right. It really is.
Weapons. Number 5. Elmore. Number 6. All right, I got 6 folks so far. Sue, Parker, Donnie, Tim, Weapons, and Elmore. Anybody else in? Outdoor Ron. Alan, would you ever consider coming back to Florida for another Peace River trip? Man, you just don't know how much I would love to, but I lost my license a few years ago to a DUI, so I can't drive no more, and I hate riding a bus. I love the Peace River. Peace River is my favorite river in the whole world as it is right now until I find a better one. But, man, I would love – that was a heck of a trip. I would love to do that again. I tell you, if you go on the Peace River, man, make sure you do some fossil digging because there's plenty of stuff to find in that river, and you ain't got to dig deep. Dang near every handful of stuff you pick up, you're going to find some shark's teeth in it, little bitty ones. But if you dig a little deeper, then you'll find them big 2- and 3-inch shark teeth.
Well, I suppose that is, Alan. We got the same thing over here in Mississippi. Like even in central Mississippi, they ain't no sea for miles.
I don't know why that is. They say, I guess Florida, because, you know, Florida used to be, I guess, because that used to be all ocean before it was a river, you know, and so that,
Well, there's a place up there in Florence, Mississippi that's right below Jackson, this place called the Devil's Backbone, this little place, and it's this little creek, and, man, it's loaded down with shark teeth. I'm saying, good Lord. Mexico's 125 miles from here.
One in Florida, you find all kinds of stuff. They're finding dinosaur bones out there. They got all kind of fossil digging clubs that go in that river. That's how I met them when I was on that Peace River trip. And all different kind of rocks, every kind of freaking gemstone you can dang near think of. I had a whole bucket full of stuff that I found when I was doing that Peace River trip.
Yeah.
A lot of it I didn't know what it was. I just thought it looked really cool. And then I come across this fossil digging club. About 8 people in this one area in fossils. So I sat there and showed that guy what I got. And I don't remember what all I had, but everything he pulled out of my bucket, he named it. Different kind of rocks, perforated antique turtle shells or ancient turtle shells, and just all kind of crap, man. The Peace River is a freaking treasure chest.
Wow.
All right. What did we come up with? Anybody want in?
Yeah, Jeremy, you said would love to. Would love to win the pipe or would love to something else?
Be careful.
We got
Everyone wants to go camping.
we got 7 so far.
Donnie's making me an ocarina.
Yeah.
Colin, are you the one that I talked to that said you was going to go with your buddy and do the 2-week trip on the Peace River?
I do believe it is.
And if it is, where are y'all putting in at? I put it at Bowling Green, Florida, and pedaled to Port Charlotte, and that's like pure wilderness. That whole trip, you're so far out in the woods, you can scream to the top of your lungs, want nobody to hear you. And there's a lot of cows, like wild cows. There ain't no fence blocking them, and they're kind of spooky. Even though you raised around cows all your life, and you just laugh at them like they're a big goofy animal, but when they're standing in the river looking at you about 30 of them, you're like, oh crap, do I really want to go there?
Yeah. What in the world?
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the contest. I think we got all that's going to be in there. I guess Jeremy, you didn't want to be in there. You didn't say. So we got 7 numbers.
All right. Does it have me up for random.org right now on the screen share now? Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So 1 through 7.
Yeah, Mike, you could get in if you wanted to. You want to win it too?
Nah. The hell, I'm going to. Watch me win it. If I do, I'm gonna kick you right in the nuts.
I'm gonna put you down for number 8. So you got 8 people in.
All right. Do I need to hit this thing 3 times, generate it 3 times, and go, or just first time around? What we do?
I don't care, just however you want to do it.
Well, you giving it away. You tell me.
All right, do it 3 times. We'll do a 3 draw, y'all. It'll be on the 3rd time is the winner.
All right. Are we ready?
Select to do it. Yeah, I don't see anybody else joining in, so go for it.
Here we go. 1, 2, and the final one.
Who is?
What does it say?
I can't see it.
Does it not show?
On my little phone, so I can't see the whole screen.
Can y'all? It says 8.
Does it really?
Yeah, I swear. Does it not have it up on there? I mean, I can see it on mine.
Well, I'm on my phone. Somebody with the big screen can see it. I'm on the phone. I can't see it.
Oh. I tell you what, I don't feel guilty, or I feel guilty about it. I'm gonna go back to 7, and we're gonna, because I never win nothing, and it shouldn't be that way today. Here's the final. Did you get Jeremy Woodward or in it? We're gonna do it again, guys, because I don't feel. I mean, I just don't feel right about being in on it. So we're gonna go one more time. This one click, and it's the final one. And
Jeremy makes 9.
Oh, does he? Well, I'm gonna go back to 8 and hit it again. And since it already hit 8, it's not going to again. So I'm gonna do it 3 more times. Because, I mean, it's probably not going to hit 8 again, so that's going to eliminate him. Unless you just... Are y'all ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. Well, congratulations.
Who is it?
Parker, I guess. Is that... No, Jeremy, number 8. It hit 8 again.
Oh, hey, really? All right, Jeremy wins it then.
Get with Alan, and well, you go ahead and tell him.
I'm sending y'all my email address. Send me your address where you want to ship to, and we'll get it straight out to you.
Let me know how much it is, and I'll ship it, or I'll send it over to your PayPal. I got a direct link to his PayPal. I just says PayPal, pay. Alan Hobbs.
All right, there's my Jeremy. Send me your address, and we'll get this off to you.
I used to say Alan Bob 68. You know, Alan hadn't called me but twice in 2 months.
Dang.
Yeah.
You want to know why?
No.
Because Mike calls me every day.
How many times have I called you in the last 8 days?
Probably about 30.
Oh, you a lie. I ain't called you but 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I'm done with him. He's like old news. I got a new paper.
How like that for?
Because you always sleep all through the day and want to stay up till 7 o'clock in the morning. And then won't call you right before he goes to bed and say, hey, man, been up all night. Don't call during the day until 7 tonight. I tell you, I could honestly say that if Alan and I lived closer together, we'd probably both be single because there ain't no way they'd put up with both of us.
Well, I got to tell you what, it's been a real charge for me to talk to you and Alan. You know, seeing y'all on here all the time, to actually talk to y'all, that's been really cool. I really enjoyed it.
We've enjoyed having you.
I think Alan, that man, he just tough, son. He's tough. Go out there and gum woods and bullshit in your hat and eat and God almighty knows. Jeez, man.
I'll tell you what, Dottie, I'll be honest with you. I used to didn't even watch your videos much. Not that they're not good, but it's just I had so many to watch. When I finally got to yours and I saw where you said I had a big barrel, 55-gallon of goat you became my favorite subscriber. I've watched every one of your videos since then.
He told me, he said, Mike, I won't be watching any of your videos anymore. I said, why is that? And he said, well, I've got this new guy, and me and him's going to hit it off real well. I said, well, what did he do? Say something good about you? And he goes, yeah, he did.
Man, Alan gets out there, man. He don't give a darn. Camp on a game trail. He don't give a damn. Right by a river, he don't care. Good Lord. It just beats all I've ever seen.
I'll be watching one of your videos, and I'll be telling my wife something about you, and I'll say, look here, Donnie's over here doing this and that and other, and she'll say, who's Donnie? I'll say, the one that said I got a 55-gallon drum full of gonads.
Say it again. Say it again like you said it.
He does. The boy got a 55-gallon drum full of gonads. Lord have mercy. He is. He's tough now. Ain't no joke. And I'll tell you what, Alan, all jokes aside, what makes it even that much better is the fact, now I know you suffer with health problems, health issues, and you mean enough to go out there anyhow. That's what impresses me. I just can't believe it. I mean, man. People there, buddy.
I made my mind up a long time ago that as long as I can walk and move, I'm going to do it. You know, I ain't going to sit in a house and rot. You know, sit here and die. To me, if you want a life, you got to live. You're not living by sitting there doing nothing. You know, and I always look for things I enjoy, and camping is like one of the most things I enjoy, and it's free. It don't cost me nothing. I can do it right here at the house. I don't live in the city. I can just walk in any woods I want to and go camping, and I love it. And y'all watch, come this fall and winter, y'all gonna see a whole lot more camping stuff for me. This summer, I go out here in the summer, but it's a suffer. When I go in the summertime, I'm suffering.
It is, yeah.
You're going to see less of that from me this year. Most of mine will be actually hunting.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing some of that too.
I want to see some more of them shelters you build. Both of y'all build good shelters.
I like to, on that, when I do that 20-mile hike back home or 27-mile hike back home. Now, you seen that guy who did it, Crafted. I guess his was an easy enough walk where he left, Friday and could be home Sunday. Mine ain't going to be nothing like that. You can ask Mike about these woods out here. Most of the woods I'm it'll probably be a week before I make it home, if not longer, because it ain't no easy walk. You got to go through a mess of stuff to walk through these woods. You'll come through a bunch of open areas and walk like maybe, say, a half a mile to a mile, but then you're going to go through another half a mile to a mile full of sticker briars. And you don't just walk through them. You got to figure a tunnel out of them to get them.
Right.
Good. But I'm going to do it just because it's
20 thing?
Huh? I still didn't hear you say again.
You going to do the 20-mile hike for sure?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's already planned. Even though I'm not much of a planner, I just do stuff spontaneous. But I was wanting to even go ahead. I started to do that in the summer, but I got to thinking, there ain't no way I'm going to try to do that out in the heat. But my wife and I, we was driving around yesterday looking for a spot to drop me off at, and she was doing the mileage thing on her car. And so the easiest spot that would be on Collie Creek, where I could pretty much have water near me the whole time, is about 27 miles away.
Mm.
That creek goes right behind our new house. It's like 1 mile behind our new house. So I'll be following the creek from all the way back from a road that's called 401 or 701, 41 or 701. I forget which one we're on. But then that straight woods might cross a couple roads or something. in the woods mostly the whole time and go past my house and then come out on the road the house is on and come back downward to my house.
Heck yeah.
I look forward to it. I mean, something like that is a joy to me. I mean, that's just pure fun to me to be able to do that.
I would love to be able to do it. Time's my thing. I don't have that kind of time. My job. That's funny. I gotta. I just don't get that kind of time. That kind of vacation time.
Oh yeah, Colin. I remember you said that from Bartow, Florida. Yeah, I know Bartow well. That's where I used to go to jail at.
This Japanese guy keeps attacking me on Clash of Clans, and I'm not happy with it.
What is it?
Clash of Clans on my phone. He keeps attacking me.
You're playing a game on your phone?
It is. And if I could pronounce his name, I'd tell you who he was, but it's Japanese or Chinese one.
Jeremy said, what exactly did he win?
Oh, you don't know? Alan's giving away all of his used underwear.
No, it wasn't this time. It ain't much of nothing, but I bought 4 of them. Figure I'd give one away.
He tore me up again, too. He took all my stuff.
Good night, outdoor. If you fall in a creek, you may be walking a lot longer than 20 miles. Yeah, and I don't mind that, Tim. Really, I don't. I mean, to me, actually, the longer the better. Gives me more of an excuse to be out there, you know, without having to argue with the wife about it or whatnot. But it's like once I'm dropped off, then she knows there ain't no I need to come home. It's I'll be there when I get there. There ain't no rush and nowhere else to go. My only choice will be to go through the woods until I get to 210, and the only way to 210 by Collie Creek is to the woods. I looked on Google Earth and looked at Collie Creek, and it seems like it goes mainly all through the woods.
Sue's got a good idea. She said before everybody leaves, needs 60 seconds of silence, and they're talking or texting in honor of Mike, Mr. Landreth. I still, doggone, it's just something else. I mean, just never know what life's going to do. You really don't.
That's another reason I say live. I seen a video one time. You heard that song? I forget who it is. I think it's Tim McGraw, Live Like You Were Dying.
Yeah, yeah.
I seen somebody put a video to that, but even besides the video, that's just, I mean, it's so much truth, you know. If somebody told you you had 1 month to live right now, what all would you do? You know, would you try to go do everything you ever wanted to do? Would you try to go do things you've always been scared of doing? And if that's the case, why not do it anyways, even though you're not dying? Because you might die tomorrow, you know, or you might come down with cancer like half of the world seems to be doing right now, you know. And so get out there, live while you can, man. Don't wait till you're all in a deathbed and can't do it no more, and then you're laying there wishing you did do it.
That's right.
Get out every chance you get and do it.
100% correct.
Yeah, and things you're scared of, go out there and just face it. You know, if you know whatever is whatever. I'm scared crapless of bears, and look where I count, right in the middle of a blueberry patch on a game trail, and scared of bears every time I'm out there. But to me, it's a thrill. It tickles me. I mean.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you're being serious, but that just tickles me thinking about you on that damn game hell every time.
He has not got one video of him camping that there's not a game trail running right through a shelter. That was one of the first things that I picked out. I watch a lot of videos, and I don't always, well, I haven't got to watch many lately, but I don't always comment. But there was a gentleman that's well known, very good, and the first thing I noticed was this cat is in a rain runoff. But he justified it later on. He knew it was, and he was just there to make the video for that afternoon. But he had a full-fledged camp set up, and the first 2 inches of rain that would have came through would have flooded him out completely to where he couldn't get out. And I don't know, I guess I look at the stupid things that you really shouldn't be looking at. But I don't never say nothing to anybody because, hell, I'm sure if somebody looks at mine, they could say the same thing, like, look at that idiot. He's right in between 2 pine trees, and one of them's dead. You know?
Yeah.
Weapons. Mike has had a cancer for a long time, and we don't know if he's dead or not for sure. For Brad Allen, who asked that, Mike Ware talked to his wife, and they were waiting on him to die anytime. So he's pretty much on his deathbed, just waiting to pass. And for all we know, he could be passed already. We don't know. I mean,
someone said it earlier. They heard that he had already passed today about 4:30. I haven't. And I talked to her about 2:40 today, and that's what they were. I mean, that's what they were doing. They were waiting. I did tell her that, and I knew that you would, and the other folks there was, you know, just if you could just lean over there and tell him that we love him, we're gonna miss him. And she did, but he never responded. He was breathing heavy. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, the man could carry on a conversation for weeks with you, you know, and there was times to be like, oh, no, I don't have time, you know. But now when you sit and you think about it, really should I not have had that time? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could look at it 1,300 different ways, you know.
Right.
Yep. Mike's been with Mike Landry's been with us for a long time. As far as myself, he's been with me pretty much ever since I first started YouTube. Been in almost every hangout I used to have, and I used to have hangouts pretty much every day, every night. Good guy. Wish I could have got up that way to see him. So what else, man, on a happier note?
No, there's all kinds of stuff. I don't have anything else. I pulled apart some of my stuff for next week to wing through this one. I was counting on you, and you were counting on me, and we're countless.
Yeah, I apologize for all of that technical difficulty tonight, y'all. And next week it'll be on Mike's channel again to try to keep it on schedule. And I'm gonna take a chance after we get off here. I'm gonna take a chance and go ahead and let that Windows thing. I can't stand that they keep changing stuff. I hate change. I don't like change. I'm not a person that likes change. And it seems like no matter what Windows you have, no matter what software you have, they can't leave it alone, just like YouTube. It's like somebody's sitting there right now trying to figure out how to change YouTube. Change it again.
Yep. Just when you get it figured out, they do something else.
And it worked just fine, you know, years ago. I wish they would have just left it alone then. That was just perfect. Always got to add something else to it. Brad Allen's going camping soon.
Yeah.
Isn't that a song by Tom Fogerty or John Fogerty? John Fogerty.
Yeah, put me in, Coach. I'm ready.
Oh, no. Don't start singing. This man called me up one day, and he said, dude, this is going to sound weird. He said, but I got this song in my head. Let me sing it to you. I couldn't think of the name of it, and I was like, oh, my God. I know I can't sing, and I don't do it.
And you still never figured out the song. I don't think I ever figured out the song.
After you murdered it the way you did Noah, the original artist couldn't figure that song out.
Well, I'll be back on the scooter in the morning heading to the next house. Alan, if you get installed, if you need help, send me a text or call me, and I'll try and help you. It's not really that I need help. It's just that I don't think my computer is strong enough to handle it, I guess, because I done installed it twice, and it runs okay. I mean, as far as running, it runs okay. It don't give me my start menu. In my start menu, I have to right-click on it, and then a few things on the computer tabs don't work, you know, like the search. You click on the search button 1,000 times, and it won't work. My little microphone where my volume is, you click on that, and it don't work. And I have volume on my keyboard, and that don't work. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to try it again and hope that maybe the last one was just a bad install, but I installed it twice. But I appreciate you offering the help. But I used to be a computer repair person. So I'm very computer literate. I just got a crappy computer, so.
Computer literate, not illiterate.
Yeah.
He knows everything about computers, but I have to correct his words. Between me and him, we could actually make a good management team. Before we get off of here, we'll do that 60 seconds. I think that would only be fair. I mean, for respect and stuff. But Donnie looks like he's about 3 hours past his bedtime.
Yeah.
And Alan over there, he's just on his second wind, thinking about, man, I could probably ride back out there right now and put that toilet seat on. I'm in between, what am I going to do all day tomorrow? But next week, I wanted to kind of get on some bushcraft and survival subjects and stuff. But Alan had made the comment last week, you know, we do this to have a good time. But we do still want to kind of punch out a few things, you know, that might help somebody new that's just stepping into the bushcraft or the survival thing, you know. My honest opinion about survival is don't overthink it.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's you know, all of us have missed a meal. You know, we've all been broke, poor, or whatever, and had to miss a couple of meals. So you're not going to die because you missed a meal. What are you going to do to get the next one? And that's the key to it, is thinking all the way through it. And I've been schooled on bushcraft in the last year to where it was almost, wow, I didn't really realize that. But, you know, I was wanting to kind of go over what is a bushcraft, you know, what is bushcraft, you know, and one of the guys, he kind of explained it well, and I was going to kind of go over it. But I mean, it's a way of life. It's not a camping trip.
Right.
You know, and I just like the name after, and I've confessed this 1,000 times. You know, before you two, you'd said bushcraft, and I don't know. I was thinking Crocodile Dundee or some crap. You know, I had no idea. You know. But it was all the things that I've learned and done, you know, like you making the broom that you made. That's bushcraft. You took something that needed to be made and you crafted it to live in the woods. Right. You know, and it's different than just being what I think I'm more of as a woodsman. You know, I enjoy the outdoors and things like that. And Alan, he enjoys the outdoors. I know you do. And 90% of the guys that are on here, you know, I think that's where I was trying to get my channel to go into, is I've got to come up with a happy medium for me and the viewer so they know what they're expecting, because I'm all over the board. I mean, Briar Goat Killer, I don't know if he's still in here or not. We talked one night. I'm all over the board, and if somebody wanted to come to my channel and they seen Crash Bushcraft, the first thing they thought was, I'm going to learn bushcraft. And then all of a sudden they go, well, this man's making a knife. He's shooting a bow. He's riding a bicycle. He's hiking. He's climbing. He's camping. Okay, this is all over the board. What is this guy? This guy's an outdoor man. And that's what I was trying to get, I guess, the point across it. I've either, if I'm going to be bushcrafting, I need to stick with bushcraft and stuff. But I do want to do my archery, and I've even thought about changing and making a new channel just for the archery part of it.
I have something I'd like to propose, and that's a question about in general. In my view, what bushcrafting is the reproduction of the security, the comforts, and things like that that we have in our homes right now out in the woods. It's the same feeling of security, of home, and everything else. I think that if you can reproduce that same kind of feeling in your gut that this is home, then that's when it's real bushcraft. That's what I think.
And that's pretty much what it is. It's learning how to create. You know, crafting everything while you're out there, doing it, living it off the land, taking it, you know, I need a chair. I'll craft me a chair. You know, I did it out here, and I'm going to do it out here, and I'm going to use that chair for the next 10 years. I guess it's basically before we got machinery.
Right.
But now when you have to figure out how to make a TV and a monitor and get me a 16 gigabyte DDR computer, you ain't going to be bushcraft no more.
You ain't lying.
A lot of that stuff is a lot easier than people would think. I mean, you go out there and camp, and if you was to think about making a chair, you say, well, I don't know how to make a chair. But it's so easy to sit there and picture a chair and then figure out how to build it. You know, and something I wanted to mention on this survival bushcraft type of stuff, I always try to remember, or at least this is my point, my view, my opinion. Most of the stuff you see and read, you see on YouTube or you read in a book, it's guidelines. It's not a must. It's not a written in stone, you have to do it this way. And like, say, for example, where you always read you can only go 3 days without water. That's pretty much, that's for certain people, but it's a crock of crap, really. You can go, a normal average person can go longer than 3 days without water, but that's just your danger line, basically. That's like, after 3 days, hey, you're in danger. You better start watching out. It don't mean as soon as 3 days is up, you're going to die. it ain't like that, you know. But
you know, some people may not even can make it 2 days. But,
yeah.
I mean, you're not going to die, but you're going to be so to the point to where you are lethargic, to where you can't function anymore. And I guess that's where a lot of people don't realize is the dangers of, okay, I've been 2 or 3 days with only a little bit of water. It's all of the other stress factors that kick in that you won't just like, oh, 10 seconds and I'm dead because it's been 3 days. You're going to be to the point to where I can't function, I can't move, I can't. You know, when you watch that show Alone, these guys hadn't ate. They're laying there, and you can see in Alan's face when he's laying there, it just hadn't been much to film. He's not even clear. You know, I mean, he's functional, but he's...
That show where he stood up and took a picture of his, like in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
His face is way skinny, and you can see the bones, collarbones.
Yes. I mean, he was, and when he was getting his blood pressure done, you seen a good 40-pound drop.
You ain't,
you know, and you know, and that's the thing. You don't have that energy that you had, so your thinking is just not. I mean, I guess that's with the schooling and the stuff that I kind of fooled around with it. I understand it's not your body's just going to fall over and say, okay, we're done. My heart gave out, my lungs are not functioning, and my brain's dead. It's just you can't. I'm going to reach over there and get it. Anybody ever been in the hospital dehydrated? I was, and you couldn't even. I mean, it felt like you were chewing on a rope that was this freaking big around all day long. Because, you know, just from being sick, where I had all my fluids and I wasn't drinking the right amount, I mean, it's like you're just chewing on this big, fat, leathery rope, and it's you can't get nothing out of it. You just want to chew on it forever. Of course, I may not have been the best way to describe it, but I had no energy, zero zilch.
I go through that every time I go camping. I mean, it's like the second or third day, I'm just dead out of energy. But I can still survive it. My point I was making mainly is, you know, watch and learn, read books and learn if you're wanting to learn all this kind of stuff. But what you learn, don't take that as a written in stone law. If you go read all the shelters or go look on how to make every shelter that's out there to be made, you can still come up with a shelter of your own that don't even have a name. You know, you don't have to make things or do things as they are in books or on YouTube. Those are just, to me, guidelines. Yeah.
I heard a gentleman one time say, dude, all you got to do is put 4 walls and a roof up, and you got shelter. I've made many shelters that didn't have but 3 walls.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, didn't have a roof. The roof was part of the wall. They just joined together. You know, and Alan, to me, had put probably one of the best, least amount of efforts into making a shelter. He found a rock cave / whatever and went with that. He used the least amount of work to make the most sturdiest, most durable, block the most wind, keep the most, I mean, he just, and when we go out to make our shelters, you know, you've made them, I've made them, we've made bender shelters, we've done, you know, spider shelters, we've done all these things, but for bushcraft, video, and survival, we try to generate something that looks pretty. But in the real situation, a ravine and a top over it, you're good to go, because there's no better insulation than that rock that's going to be sitting there, you know, and the least amount of work. But it just doesn't look as good on video, I guess, in a sense.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a good example. Remember the teepee I made? And all of y'all who's followed me, I'm sure you've seen the teepee I used to camp in out there. A guy sent me a message one time and said, your teepee is supposed to have 15 poles. And I was like, does this guy not know me? I don't care how many poles. If it's with 3, it works. It's whatever, which my teepee had a lot of poles, but it don't matter what the book says. You should have 5 poles. Well, if 4 poles work, then 4 poles is good. If 6 poles work, then 6 poles is good. You don't have to have 5. If you're making a teepee, you don't have to have 15. You make whatever works. If it works, that's all that counts.
I think one of the things that people look into is they take one person's word as the gospel and everybody else below that, because it's their perspective of an idol in a sense, and we all have that. I mean, we all, Donnie mentioned it, you know, with Dave and stuff. When he first started watching it, we took everything he said for a grain of salt, but the truth, you know, that's how you do it. And then as we went out, we learned that's one way of doing it. This is another way of doing it, you know. But in the beginning, we all get that fixation on, no, this is the only way to do something other because Joe Blow told me it was. And with their experience, it's good information. It's nothing wrong with it, but it's not the only way. You know, one man with one arm may not function as well as another one with 2, but then again, the one with 1 may outperform the one with 2. You know, it just depends on what knowledge he had behind his tool.
Exactly.
I guess I put myself in the mind frame when I'm out there is kind of like, what if there were no way to do it? How would I come up on how to do it? And you see, most of the shit I make, I don't know the names of them or nothing. Well, I knew the teepee, but like that bender shelter I made on my survival challenge, I didn't know that had a name. I thought that was my invention, and then somebody told me that.
They're bakers, tents, beds. I mean, there's about 20 different names. Gypsy tent, you know, there's all kinds. You know, there was a video I seen on them, and the guy, and you go look up bender tents and then look at some of the old stuff. European settlers that came over and stuff, you know, not settlers, but the European, when they came over during the Depression and things like that, they were living in these things. That great dust bowl that came along and stuff, there was people that were building these things to live in because their houses were just so, I mean, 6 foot of dust and dirt inside. They needed something, and they were just building these things and putting bed sheets and whatever. You know, you just need something to protect you from the elements. I mean, it ain't got to be beautiful. It ain't got to be pretty. It don't have to have 15 poles. You know, hell, it might be 350 poles because you just had 350 laying there and you decided to do it. If you're warm and you're comfortable laying inside of it, or if you're cool and comfortable inside of it, you just survived.
That's right. Well, that's the thing about Alan when on the show alone. I don't know if you caught what he said. He acknowledged that shelter building was one of his strongest suits, and some of the other guys, I mean, they put a lot more energy into their shelters. And Alan was just, you know, what I thought was cool about him was that he was taking care of other business, about feeding himself and things like that. I mean, sure enough, he had a shelter, you know, but he was out there hustling up. To me, he ate the most out of all of them. He was eating every day, seems like. May not have been what he wanted, but he was eating.
You know, a lot of people, when they get into a situation, they don't think about it. But, you know, the fetal position is the warmest position you can get in, because it contains most of the heat. And a lot of people I've seen where they lay out and they're, you know, they got a blanket and stuff and they're stretched way out, you know, and they're like, oh man, it's cold here. How about sucking your legs up another 16 inches and tucking your arms down and watch how much body temperature you'll actually retain.
Yeah.
I was told that I was a very warm lover. And I said, what do you mean by that? And she said, well, you're not so hot. Take what you can get, I guess. But, yeah, the fetal position, you ain't kidding. How many times, I mean, even when you're a kid, you know, like in school, and I remember particular this one school, we have to catch the bus, you know, after school, and we all had to line up on this wall. And in the wintertime, it'd be so daggone cold.
And the car's blowing by, making it even colder.
Oh. And but how many times did you grab your legs, your knees, pull them to you? And you don't know why you're doing it, but that's why you're doing it.
Just your natural instincts takes care of you. But sometimes people fight it. I had something I was going to say. I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't about you, Alan. Not to sound perverted or anything. Put your hands in your pockets, keeps you warm. Put them inside your front area, and that'll actually raise your temperature, your core temperature, up by 2 to 3 degrees. Huh?
2 to 3 degrees?
It's what you can look it up and see on there. I don't know how to say that. Your testicles area, I guess, it's the only time that it's suggested, I guess, that you should do something like that. But by doing that, your core temperature will rise because it regulates. That's one reason why they're not inside the body anymore. But I'll have to do a video on it to explain it, because it's kind of hard to do it, you know. But
Alan, get Alan to model it for you, and you can just kind of poke him with a stick, you know.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I've seen Alan topless enough now. That's more than I care to ever see anything else.
I don't think we can take it. I don't.
You know, some of the guys they like wool, and you know, wool blankets and things like that. And some people swear by them. I've got 2 of them over there. One of them's $300, and the other one's about $99.
Dang.
I'm gonna tell you, they'll keep you warm, and they got a good insulation factor when they're wet. But in the end, that multi-sleep system blows them away. I mean, you got layers that's in there, and grant you, I understand that the Civil War people, your cavalry, all these people, that dated way back since wool's been around, and that's been one of the top prizes and stuff, and they've been tried and tested. But there is a place for technology, and they've learned this lighter material can do better than the heavier, But I guess that's just a debatable subject if you're dead set on sleeping with wool.
Yeah.
But we're at 10, and it is 12:46, and Donnie's fixing to get whooped. I done seen her come in there and put that finger in his face 3 times.
That's right. That's right.
I ain't busting you out, but I've been there. Except for if my wife comes in here, she's going to kick the door and say, turn it off now. And Alan's wife is just going to come in there and go, oh, I'm going to check my email.
Well, Alan, Mike, I want to thank y'all for having me on here, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Speaking with you, you guys finally, almost face to face. But also, I want to remind everybody, October 9th, 10th, and 11th at Roosevelt State Park, Morton, Mississippi. We're going to have a little Southern Bushcraft get-together there. Everybody's involved. I say Southern. Look, anybody's invited. I'm just thinking it's just easier, And this isn't gonna be one of these big to-dos. It's gonna be rather informal. Just a bunch of guys sitting around the campfire, telling some stories. So, anyway, again, thank y'all for having me, and it was nice being had.
We enjoyed having you.
I think it was a very good show. We carried on a little bit, but before we leave out, let's do that 60 seconds, and I'll let Alan pace us down to it to where we can start it. He's got a stopwatch over there, I'm sure.
Well, let's do it now. All right. Anybody out there who prays God like I do, say a prayer for Mike's family. They're going to need it. And pray for, hopefully she'll have enough help to be able to bury him. And if you don't pray to God and you pray to something else, then pray to whoever or whatever you pray to.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
And I've enjoyed it, y'all.
I did too.
Next week it's going to be on Mike's channel again. He'll send out a little reminder. And don't know if he's got any guests lined up. He always seems to surprise me with whatever he's got going on.
If I tell you up front, then
There ain't no telling about Mike. There ain't no telling. He'll pull something out.
I've got a couple of folks that one of them I really enjoy. We're just trying to wait until we can both get it to where it's feasible for him to be able to make the time. He's on the East Coast too, so it's not a big thing.
I'm going to be moving still for the next probably 2 weeks. We decided to stay here another week to get that house ready. So all of my stuff is wishy-washy right now. I'll be working on that house all week. We ain't got nothing packed here, and I'm going to strip this place down. I mean, everything that I can get legally to take with me, like that stable out back, I'm going to take all the wood off that stable and take it with me.
It's going to take you 7 weeks just to ride that over on that scooter.
And put that in the truck.
Hey, I know what you could do.
What?
You could take your lawnmower and hook that little trailer of yours up.
I've actually thought about driving that lawnmower over there, but that's a long ways to drive a lawnmower. I don't know if I'd run out of gas.
You'd have to. It'd take you 5 days.
Spots on that road where there ain't nowhere to get over to the side without going off in a ditch or a hole. It's a real curvy road, so you got all kind of blind spots. Somebody probably run over.
I'll get her address and everything tomorrow. I'm going to call them first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm going to suggest that if she knows how, or maybe one of her kids are familiar with it, to do like maybe that GoFundMe or something other, and then get her to send us a link to it. And, 10 cents, $10, $200, $5, a quarter, whatever it is. I mean, I know a lot of times the funeral homes, if you have decent credit and stuff like that, they'll finance it as well. It's a little more expensive from what I'm told, but
Mike, what in the world are you eating?
Mike and Ike. Got a big old mouth and I'm chewing on it.
Yeah.
You want one?
Yeah.
Can't have one.
Want one of these Vienna?
I got some in there. They 4 inches and under though, ain't they?
Yes, sir. I think.
You know what I like about them? Crackers.
Yeah.
Put some crackers with them. My son likes to take them when we go camping, and he loves playing with a knife. Anytime he get an opportunity to do it, he will. These need to be cut in half so I can put 2 on 1 cracker.
Yeah.
So he'll cut them in half, put another cracker on, and he'll sit over there and eat them. When he was 3, I got some videos of him and me where we're out on one of the spider shelters that I'd built over on the ridge. And he's sitting up there eating. He ate a whole can of those and half a pack of saltines. I'm a bad parent too because I took him camping one day with me, not camping, but out hiking. I wasn't hungry and I wasn't thinking nothing about him. Needless to say, he asked me about 6 o'clock, "We gonna eat?" And it dawned on me, I was like, "Oh God." But the worst feeling in the world is having him being 3 and he's been out in the yard working all day. He's been out there with you, and he goes into the back of the house and you get ready to walk in right behind him. About 10 seconds later, see what he's doing. And then he comes walking out and he's got a piece of bread by itself.
Little fella.
I'm like, just take him away from me now. These things are good though. I tell everybody, and I think Sue even asked a question one day, what's a good food to take with you when you're out camping and backpacking and stuff? I take candy. Plenty of quick bursted energy, fill you up. And the good thing about candy is, you ever been hunting and then next year go hunting again and stick your hand down in your pocket and find a piece of candy and eat that sucker? I've done it many a times. They're like, it'll work. But we're down to 6. Everybody's gone, so I'm going to kill this thing off. I'm glad we all got to get on here and hang out. Glad y'all got to see my new computer in action. And as soon as you get the information on how much you did to send, and if you tell me it's going to cost $300 to send it, Jeremy ain't getting no pipe.
Wait a minute. Crashing again. So I can get to USPS. It probably ain't gonna be no more than $1 to ship it. But all right, I'm gonna sign off of here, y'all. I got some things to do.
Me as well. So y'all have a good one, and thanks everybody for stopping in. Keep Mike's family in your prayers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all take care, and I will see y'all next week.
Have a good one, everybody.
Take care.